Almighty God, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor and blessings as your servants whom you've been pleased to call to leadership positions in this republic. We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen. We may be seated. Honorable members, once again, I welcome you to this meeting of the Public Accounts Committee. This is the second segment of our meeting. We spent quite some time earlier on getting a brief from the Auditor General, and I think that has taken care of half of the work which you should have done today. So we'll go into the formal session today, and we'll start with adoption of the agenda. Our agenda is to consider the implementation status on issues raised by the Auditor General on Nakuru County for the three reports: the County Executive, the Receiver of Revenue, and the County Revenue Fund. Could I get a proposer from the members?
Chair, I propose.
Thank you, Senator Gataya. Seconder?
Chair, seconds.
Thank you, Senator Wambua. We will do a very quick round of introductions, very, very quick, starting with members of the Senate present. Let me start from Senator Dulo. Oh, sorry, Senator Lelegwe. Senator Dulo was brighter.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. My name is Lelegwe Tumbesi, Senator for Samburu County, member of the committee.
I'm Fatuma Dulo, Senator Isiolo member.
Senator Tabitha Kiroche, Nakuru County.
Senator Jones Mwaruma, Senator representing Taita Taveta, Vice Chair to the committee.
Senator Mwenda Gataya, Tharaka-Nithi, member of this committee.
Good morning, Chair, colleagues, the Governor and your delegation. My name is Zeno Kwambua, Senator Kitui, a member of this committee. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, and the Governor and the team from Nakuru. My name is Edwin Sifuna. I'm the Senator of Nairobi, member of this committee. Welcome to Nairobi.
Through the Chair, Cherargei Kiprotich is my name, Senator of the Republic of Kenya, representing the great people of Nandi County, and a member of this committee. Thank you, Chair.
Karibuni, Senators. I'm Moses Otieno Kajwang, Senator from Homa Bay. I chair the committee. Very quickly, clerks.
Good morning, George Otieno, Committee Clerk.
Good morning, Kibet Kevin, Committee Clerk.
Boss Osman Hira, Research Officer.
Morning, Chair. John Chege, Sergeant at Arms.
Yeah, that's all from us.
You're welcome. The Office of the Auditor General.
Good morning, Chair, honorable members, Your Excellency the Governor and your team. My name is Mark Ashanja from the Office of the Auditor General, and with me is the team responsible for auditing Nakuru, and I invite them to put themselves on record.
Good morning, honorable members. My name is Kamenyi Dominic, Director of Audit, Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Lona Uchieng, Deputy Director, Audit from Nakuru Regional Office, Office of the Auditor General. Thank you, Chair.
You are welcome, OAG, ESCC.
Yes, good morning, Chair and honorable members. Christine Mweu from ESCC. Thank you.
Karibu, and the control of budget.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning. My name is Joseph Wambua from the Office of Control of Budget.
Karibu, then National Treasury.
Good morning, all. My name is Sandy Kanatha from the National Treasury.
Karibu, those are the stakeholders we work with. The other person who's not on the table is the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya. Governor Nakuru, please go on record.
Susan Kihika, the Governor, Nakuru County.
And before the Governor's delegation goes on record, Clerk, did we invite the County Assembly, the Public Accounts Committee?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, we did invite the County Assembly Public Accounts Committee. However, I called the clerk this morning, but he didn't pick up my call. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll proceed with the executive. The rest of the delegation, name and
Chair
position.
And members, Stephen Jogu, CCM, in charge of Finance and Economic Planning, Nakuru County.
Honorable members, the Chair, my name is Evelyn Kakai, the Chief Officer, Resource Mobilization.
Thank you, Chair. My name is James Katiwa, Deputy Director, Accounting Services. Thank you.
Rispali Pilal, PA to Her Excellency the Governor.
Samuel Ndegwa, Chief Officer Finance.
Dr. Daniel Wenaina, Chief Officer Health. My name is Charles Longa, Assistant Director of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable members, my name is Esther Ngada, Protocol Officer, Nakuru County.
Morning, everybody. My name is Simon Mwangi, Chair, Audit Committee, Nakuru County.
Chair, my name is Kamau Kuria, Chief Officer, Abans, Nakuru County.
Those at the back, you might need to stand so that you can be able to see you.
Good morning. My name is Timothy Mbatia, Head of Internal Audit.
Good morning, Geoffrey Mushoki, County Solicitor.
Good morning. My name is Peter Kechenya, Chief of Staff.
Good morning. My name is Francis Njoroge, CEO, Youth, Sports and Talent.
Morning, Chair. Honorable members, I'm Dr. Choka Victor Wandale. I'm a Chief Officer for Economic Planning and Revenue Administration. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Good morning, Margaret Kinyanjui, Chief Officer, Agriculture, Nakuru County.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Bernard Namnane, Director Communications, Nakuru County.
I believe your delegation, everyone has gone on record. Okay, if that is the case, let's move swiftly to the next order, which is administration of oath.
Okay. I, Susan Kihika, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Next will be your tabling of your written responses.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Chairman, sir, I hereby table the following documents before the committee: management responses and accompanying annexures on the report of the Auditor General on the County Executive for the year 2024-2025, management responses and accompanying annexures on the report of the Auditor General on the receiver of revenue statements for the County Executive of the financial year or for the financial year 2024-2025, and management responses and accompanying annexures on the report of the Auditor General on the County Revenue Fund for the County Executive for the financial year 2024-2025.
Auditor General, are we ready to proceed?
Thank you, Chair. The responses were brought on time and we are ready to proceed. Thank you, Chair.
Clerk of the Senate.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I can confirm that the responses were received in time.
Okay, if that is the case, honorable members, we may proceed, but we first need to establish a few preliminary matters. The Senate made a resolution on the 31st of March, 2026, to adopt the report of the Auditor General on Nakuru County as is, because the executive failed to appear before this committee. Secondly, the Senate made a resolution that the Governor Nakuru be fined 500,000 Kenya shillings in her personal capacity for ignoring summons to appear before this committee on 30th of March 2026. Clerk, can you confirm whether the fine has been paid?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I can confirm that the check has been paid. The fine has been paid, sorry, and we have the banker's check with us.
Okay. The third resolution of the House was that the Governor appear before this committee within 30 days to explain measures taken to close the non-conformances highlighted by the Auditor General. And that is the agenda of our meeting today. The fine having been paid, I believe, members, we can proceed now. We will start with the report on the County Executive, then go to the report on the receiver of revenue, and finally the report on the County Revenue Fund. Since we have spent quite some time, about an hour, going through this report, I can confidently say that half the work is already done, and the other half will now require the governor to respond. We will categorize the issues in this report into three. The first category are the issues where the Auditor General is satisfied that the county has taken adequate measures. We will not waste time on those. The second category are issues that require further explanation by the governor. We will spend more time on those. And the third category are issues that can be pushed to be considered in the substantive audit for 2025-2026, which has already begun. I believe the Auditor General is already on the ground. So we will isolate the issues which we must deal with here and the issues which shall be pushed to the next audit cycle. So let's start with the report on the Executive Auditor. Tell us what your opinion was, and then we go to the basis of that opinion.
Thank you, Chair. For the year 2024-2025, Nakuru Executive Office got qualified opinion, and it had 34 issues. 9 of the issues were on financials, and 2 on emphasis of matter. Other matters which relates to prior year issues was 1. Under lawfulness, we had 20 issues, and under internal controls, we had 2, a total of 34 issues.
I think just to correct you that prior year issues were 41, not 1.
I've mentioned the number. We categorize at 1 issue.
No, but when you go to the breakdown, it's 41, so it could be misleading to say it was one issue.
Noted, thank you.
Yeah, fine. So let's start with your basis for qualified opinion. You had inaccuracies in the financial statements, and we are not going to waste too much time. If financial statements are inaccurate, then the preparers of those financial statements have no business being in office, if that is the case. So tell us whether, in your view, the financial statements are still inaccurate on account of the 2 issues that you highlighted there.
Thank you, Chair. As per the verifications and the reconciliations that were brought, the financial statement is now accurate.
So the irregular transfer to other government agencies, that has been addressed?
Thank you, Chair. This one, the reconciliations were brought and they are adequately addressed.
And supported adjustments balance?
These adjustments were based on the adoption of the accrual, and in our cash basis transactions, we used to admit purchase of things like seedlings to the farmers as acquisition of assets, and because we are adopting the accrual basis, those things cannot be categorized as assets to the county, so they have to be adjusted accordingly and removed from the assets register. So they were adequately addressed.
Okay, so if those would have been outstanding, we would have declared CPA Evelyn B. Kakai the signatory to these financial statements and fit to hold public office. Thankfully, the Auditor General has given us an assurance. Let us go to the other issues. The issue number 2, property, plant and equipment without ownership documents.
Thank you, Chair. This issue is still outstanding, and if I may read.
Please proceed.
The statement of financial position reflects property, plant and equipment balance of 23 billion as disclosed in Note 26 to the financial statement. However, review of the property, plant, equipment records revealed that there were 218 motor vehicles which did not have logbooks and 878 parcels of land without title deeds or allotment letters. No explanation was provided for the absence of ownership documents for motor vehicle and the parcels of land. Further, the land register indicated that 10 parcels of land had been encroached by illegal settlers and private developers, and management had not taken any action to reclaim or settle the matter to acquire titles or encroach parcels of land. In the circumstances, the accuracy, completeness, and ownership of property, plant, and equipment balance of 23 billion could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, as is the standard practice, the Auditor General has read out her finding. You will respond by, first of all, reading what you tabled, and any explanations can be done later. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. 218 motor vehicles, all part of the 798. Oh, I'm sorry. Honorable Chair, the 218 motor vehicles form part of the 798 total county fleet of both.
Sorry, Governor.
Sorry.
Just for us to be able to follow, honorable members, are we all on the same page? So that's page 219.
So sorry, yeah, in future I'll say the page.
That's page
219.
Page 219.
Yes.
Okay. If you are on the same page, then we could proceed. I think that there are those annotations or those colorful.
That it's volume 1. Yeah, this is a very unique way of arranging documents. Governor, tell your team when they are labeling the documents.
Yes.
The annexure number should be the top document.
Sure.
It is not possible for you to open 2 documents and you see it's volume 1. Let it just be on top for ease of reference. And I've also seen, Chair, for the first time, an entity splitting its response. So you can imagine this entire bundle of papers was to respond to that query number 1 that we were dealing with.
Yeah, let's look at the substance. The form is foreign, but let's look at the substance. Page 219. Okay, proceed.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Chair, the 218 motor vehicles form part of the 798 total county fleet of both motor vehicles and motorcycles. Out of the 798 total fleet, 488 motor vehicles and motorcycles were inherited from the defunct local authority and devolved functions. 245 motor vehicles and motorcycles have formally been transferred to the county government by the IGRTC, leaving a balance of 243. The 878 parcels of land without title deeds or allotment letters form part of the total 1,856 parcels of land in the possession of the county government, classified as follows in terms of the ownership documents. The ones with titles are 151, without titles are 878, new identification 827, making it a total of 1,856. The management has taken the following steps to address the gaps in ownership documents. The county has paid part of the requisite NTSA charges of Kenya shillings 2.5 million to enable processing of logbooks for motor vehicles. An additional amount of 5 million is awaiting final payment to completely put to rest the logbook issues. Appendix 2.1, RTGS payment schedule, 218 for the 218 list of motor vehicles. Number 2, the management has further allocated funds in the upcoming financial year 2026-2027 to process title deeds for the parcels of land without ownership documents. This will supplement the efforts the management has done through a supplementary allocation for processing the title deeds. 3 million has been processed, awaiting payment to various government agencies dealing with processing of the title deeds. Appendix 2.2 is the budget extract and list of title deeds. The management has written to EACC to facilitate on recovery of various encroached parcels of land, and the EACC has been able to recover one parcel, or one house at Golf Club Road Estate. We are closely working with the EACC for the other recoveries. Appendix 2.3 is the letter to the EACC. 4, the management has formulated an asset management policy that will guide management of county assets. The policy is in line with the PFM Act 2012 and the enabling legislation and policies as guided by the National Treasury. 5, we have engaged the IGRTC to finalize handing over of the said parcels of land through gazettement. Appendix 2.4 is the letter to IGRTC. The management commits to process ownership documents on timely basis for any acquisition of assets.
Auditor General, what's your comment on that response?
Thank you, Chair. Our response is based on the evidence on page 242, where the county government has written to the Intergovernmental Relations Committee on the number of parcels they have, where they have indicated they have 1,460, while the one that was gazetted by the IGRTC was only 98 parcels of land. So we were at loss because if these 1,362 parcels of lands are not gazetted and the committee was tasked with the responsibility of handing over the assets, the county may lose some parcel of land. Thank you.
Okay. Maybe if there are any follow-up questions from members on this, because it has two distinct elements. There's an issue of motor vehicles and there's an issue of land. And I think on the land, we'll probably link it to our earlier conversation on leases. I think we had, in our brief, we had a conversation around leases, which will demonstrate maybe the situation in Nakuru. So, honorable members, because for motor vehicles, really, Governor, this 798 total fleet, if 488 were inherited from defunct local authorities, are they still serviceable? Because that means that at minimum they are 13 years.
Some are, as we still use them, but some are not. But I'll have Mr. Mugoi, the assets accountant.
I don't want us to spend too much time on this because there are bigger things.
That's
and
fine.
Secondly, in your insurance for motor vehicles, have you insured all of them?
The ones that are operable. So the ones that are not, we have not. The ones that don't move, we have not. Right?
So, Auditor, one thing you could help us with in this audit is that these 798 vehicles, how many of them are serviceable? How many, because we have seen cases where counties take out insurance for vehicles that are unserviceable. You could do that for us in the current year audit, so that we see the value of this 798, so that even when you're insisting on logbooks, it should be logbooks for useful assets, rather than just insisting on logbooks for a vehicle that is lying on stones in a garage somewhere. Maybe that could add further value to this particular matter. You could advise us on that and confirm to us whether the insurance cover is applies to all the vehicles, and we find out whether they're taking comprehensive insurance for unserviceable vehicles, as you have seen in some other counties.
And perhaps, Chair, the Auditor General should also help these entities. Like, if a car has been grounded all these years, Chair, why does it have to be appearing as an asset of the county? What are they supposed to do with all these grounded vehicles?
And then maybe also, maybe also to add on that, then if at all the vehicles were transferred from the previous government, maybe the auditor and the High Excellency Governor, how long does it take? Because it's now 4 years down the line. We are only remaining 1 year. So I think that should also be clear. How long does one take to transfer assets from the previous government to the current government?
Okay. Senator Chirake, Governor, just take note of the question.
Out of curiosity to the Governor, I've seen this annexure 2 to 3. A number of vehicles are grounded, others are operational, others are burnt. Yadu wamechoma, and then others, there is no Governor indication. You have said you have assets person here. There is no indication whether is burned, is it operational, is grounded, and all of them are no. So this Governor that has no indication whether operational or not, what is their status? And then finally, since you run assets register for the assets and plant machinery of the county, finally, what is the process? I think the Public Procurement and Disposal Act allows you to dispose a number of these assets which are grounded. Either you auction them, you sell them, then you can be able to acquire more, because the net effect, if these are not operational due to the jar and most are grounded, you will end up leasing, which means your lease will be expensive in terms of running cost of accounting. So what is the disposal mechanism, Governor, that you have put in place to ensure that they are grounded, they can be disposed of, so that you are able to get value for money and also get other vehicles to operate? So Chair, that is what I wanted that my three concerns.
Okay, Senator Wambua.
Two issues, Chair. One is just for neatness, Governor. Perhaps maybe I know that it's captured somewhere. But when you talk about 245 vehicles and motorcycles, I saw another reference, 488 vehicles and motorcycles. Perhaps it would have been better if you would have told us which number is motor vehicles and which one is motorcycles. The other concern is related to what my colleagues have raised. On the issue of the grounded vehicles, whether they are, motorcycles and motor vehicles, they are grounded, they don't even have logbook. Are they considered your assets? Because the only document for ownership of a motor vehicle, motorcycle, is a logbook. Are they considered your assets? And lastly, I would be happy to benefit from you, Governor. There are some areas, and the chair made reference to it, where grounded motor vehicles and motorcycles, people are taking out insurance policies for them. Even they are also drawing fuel for years. Why can't these vehicles be disposed? What's the challenge? I thank you, Chair.
Okay, Governor, we have focused more on the motor vehicle question. I think we'll come back to the land question. Or Senator Muruma, you wanted to
So that the land question, because we've indicated, or from the query, that the land register indicated 10 parcels of land had been encroached by illegal settlers and private developers. You are using ESCC to recover the land, and you are indicating that one parcel of land has been recovered. What is the status of the 9? Do you think there is hope to recover the land?
Okay, Governor.
Thank you, Chair. Real quick, not necessarily in the order asked, but I think Senator Wambua has asked if we could break it down. From the 488, the motor vehicles are 350, and the motorcycles are 138. But I also want to confirm to Senator Wambua that as Nakuru County, we do not insure the grounded vehicles or grounded motorcycles, and would definitely not fuel them. But thank you for the concern. Senator Cherargei, in response to the Senator's question, we are not able to dispose, though we are obviously aware of the process to do the disposals, but we can dispose. So once we have the ownership, then we are able to dispose. So we are waiting to get the logbooks, and then we are able to dispose the ones that are grounded and that do not move. For Senator Keroche...
A quick one on that, just a follow-up on that. So the ones that you have grounded, have you disposed?
No, we have not. We have not. Sorry, through the chair. On Senator Keroche's question on the 4 years to transfer from the previous government, we are actually talking about transferring from the former defunct, that's what, 13 years now, about 13 years. So it's not from 4 years. It's not from the previous administration. It's actually from before devolution. But we are in the process, and we had to wait for, we are in the process, and we shall get them completed soon, Chair.
Now, Auditor, I think there was a question on why we are keeping them in the assets register despite them being old and unserviceable. I believe with accrual, we are now doing depreciation of assets. So it means that progressively we'll write them down to a point where whichever residual value they would be. Okay. Senator Lelegwe?
Chair, when I refer to Annexure 2.1, the RTGS that payment for the schedule for the 218 motor vehicles, when I go to that schedule, there are several vehicles that do not indicate the status and the location or the operational status of that vehicle or the location of that vehicle, but it is in the list that have been submitted for payment for logbook. So how do you submit a vehicle that you don't know the location and you don't know the status? Just go to that list, you will see some.
Okay, at least
page 223, there is one. The status is not known. Number 9. Then when you go to 224, there is 30, 31, there is 34. Then you go to 25. There are several.
Oh yeah, so page 223, you are referring to that row number 9?
Yeah.
That vehicle registered in 1980 before you were born.
Okay.
Okay.
My issue is the list has been submitted for payment.
Yeah.
For logbooks acquisition. So I'm asking whether you can include a motor vehicle that is not, that the location is not known,
and the status is unknown. Yeah,
and there are several.
I'm wondering, there's one that was registered in 1910. Have you seen that one, Governor?
1910.
Number 4.
That should be taken to
Even
the
number 4.
That's actually an asset. Should go to the concuse.
1910.
Number 43.
Even number 10 is another.
It's at page 228. A motor vehicle that was registered in 2011, number 138. It's not, the location is not known, and the status is not known. But I just wanted the governor to clarify whether you've paid for all these motor vehicles included in this list.
Okay. Before you do that, Senator Omogeni, Senior Counsel, please go on record.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. My name is Okongo Omogeni, Senator of Nyamira, a member of this committee. I'll also be interested just to know what model these vehicles are. There are so many of them, the ones of 1910. At page 224, there are about 3 of them that were registered in 1910.
And the governor has confirmed that it has taken us 13 years, Nakuru County, to know the vehicles to transfer, or to know which ones to throw and which ones to register. So I think there is some things are not very clear.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying throwing.
Honorable members, let's get back to this.
It came 13 years
so that I
to do this process.
With
for this
Senator
process.
Question.
Okay.
Whether to find out from the governor where we have the Nakuru City County as a full, complete asset register. It will be able to answer what Nakuru has. So maybe the governor can tell us what is the status, so that it is easy to assess. But for the 1910 Senior Council, you can bring concordel guns here in Nairobi. They normally have for the old vehicles.
Okay. Even though your last question, this would be the subset of the total asset register. So as to that question, this is the answer of the asset register. But Governor, you may make a quick response because I think we have more substantive issues ahead. This one, we are just doing warm-up.
It's okay, Chair. I will hand over to Mr. Mogoi as far as the specifics of the registry. However, I will point again, maybe I wasn't very clear when I talked about the 13 years. It was not that the county government took 13 years to register, but a lot of this stuff is just coming down from IGRTC, the committee, the Intergovernmental Relations Committee, and previously held by the State Department of Devolution. So as counties, we are just now getting this pushed over or pushed down to us, and now we are doing what we need to do by keeping the full registers. So Mr. Mogoi, you may proceed with the answer.
Thank you, Chair. All protocols observed. The motor vehicles that are in question from the devolved functions and the defunct local authorities, as indicated earlier, have not been fully transferred to the county by HLTC so that we can be able to dispose of the grounded motor vehicles, and even a decision for disposal to be taken for the remaining motor vehicles that were long overdue in terms of registration. HLTC transferred part of the motor vehicles, but indicated that we needed to pay the requisite charges to NTSA, and the payment has been made, that is 2.5 million, to be able to process and have the log books so that we can be able to transfer the same. As pertains to the land that HLTC gazetted 98 parcels, they gazetted the 98 parcels which did not have any dispute, and they are further to gazette all the other parcels so that we can be able to process the titles at the county level. The attachments are there to support the communication between the county and the IGLTC, who are charged with the responsibility to handle the assets for counties that were devolved. About the status and location of the vehicles, the summary of the list that is given is a summarized list, but the register indicates the entire register is able to locate everything as per the location of the motor vehicles. This is a summarized fashion that has been shared to be able to support the argument, but a detailed register is available for the same.
So I think that's not a very useful explanation. When you come to the Senate, you come with the full details. You can't come with a redacted version and say that there's another version somewhere. Honorable members, I wanted to propose that we ask the Auditor General to go back on this particular query. We mark it as unresolved and ask the Auditor General to look at other dimensions on the number of vehicles that are unserviceable, the issue of insurance, the other issue that one member raised where those vehicles of 1910 are being used on fuel registers. They're drawing fuel from petrol stations. We have seen it in other counties. Please give us an assurance that those things are not happening, and also give us an assurance that if there's any disposal, it's been in line with PPDA, and if there is any valuation or write-down, it is in line with IPSA's accrual. Maybe you can broaden this query beyond just the ownership documents so that we can look at it more critically the next cycle. Honorable members?
Chair, quickly before you conclude, we have so many entities before this committee, and this issue has been flagged quite across the very many counties. This is the issue of asset register. I don't know whether we can have a conclusive approach to this one, because it's a matter that keeps on coming before us. For 13 years now, we are talking of assets that are not being transferred from the defunct local authorities and so forth and so forth. It's an issue that is likely to be with us for quite some time. No, even for 20 to 20 something, 20 that you will just find that there's a matter that will not be transferred. I think as a committee we are supposed to have a different approach.
Yes,
so that we conclude this matter once and for all.
I know the governors on their part have been discussing things at summit, and because I recall I was the chair of the Devolution Committee in the last parliament when the governor was our whip. Was he our whip yeah, and she used to whip us thoroughly. But we concluded, IGRTC concluded matters and forwarded to IBEC and Summit, and they don't seem to be making a decision. I think they are still asking for budgetary allocations to go back and identify assets. So I agree with you that we need to have some finality, but it goes beyond the Public Accounts Committee. We need to involve the Devolution Committee and even the Finance Committee, but also the governors on their side must fast-track issues in Summit and IBEC because we don't sit there as a legislature. Maybe to close it, Senator Cherargei, Maruma, Senator Dulo, so to allow us to move to the next.
I already asked my question.
Okay.
On the land. You know, there's a lot of land that has been encroached by the who is who in town. And these people can't touch. I want to find out if these 10 pieces of land that were encroached are some of those pieces that are replicated across Kenya. You can't touch those people. Do you think using ESCC is feasible to get back this land? Some of them could be having very expensive buildings. So what is the status of recovering this land through ESCC? That's an important question for me.
Okay, Senator Dulo, then Senator Cherargei, then we allow the governor to respond. You had an intervention, Senator Omogeni?
Me, I just wanted whether we are accepting it on record that the county government of Nakuru has made a request to National Transport Safety Authority, NTSA, to issue them with logbooks for vehicles that were registered in the year 1910. 10 of them. That somebody is paying public money to process a logbook for a vehicle that was registered in 1910. Is that what the Senate of the Republic of Kenya is being told?
Okay, so raises a value for money. For you, it's a value for money question, isn't
Can a 1910 vehicle be existing anywhere in the Republic? That somebody can say, let us budget money, we pay NTSA to process a vehicle for an asset. You can call a 1910 motor vehicle an asset,
No,
Chairman.
it is.
And pay money to NTSA to give you a logbook to show that you own that vehicle. That's what I wanted to hear from Governor.
Okay, Governor, you just note that. Senator Dulo?
Chair, as you've heard from the Governor, I remember over the years we have asked IGTRC to fast-track the process of actually handing over the assets to the county governments. And I believe counties will not be able also to dispose of most of the vehicles unless they are handed over with the logbooks and all that. So as a committee, and I think it's not only Nakuru, most of the counties, they even have vehicles that are scrap metals right now. And even those scrap metals, you cannot dispose them off without the documentation and all that. So from my part, I believe we should be able to call in IGTRC, NTSA to fast-track the process of actually handing over all those vehicles to the county government so that they can finalize this matter, because it's taken over 13 years for us to conclude on this matter, which doesn't look very healthy. I thank you, Chair.
In fact, on that point, members, if you allow, and Senator Omogeni, maybe we should be telling NTSA to waive transfer fees where the transfer is not commercial, where it's as a result of that constitutional transition. Because why should they charge a fee for transfer of 1910 vehicles? Maybe it's a recommendation we can make, but the governor will advise us, being the person on the ground.
To add on that, maybe IGTRC should be able to give us the list of all the property, or rather the vehicles, that are supposed to be transferred to those counties. Then we can have that discussion.
Okay.
Maybe we can write to them.
Senator Wambua, but let's avoid reopening or speaking twice to the question.
Chair, we will only speak twice if there is need, and I'm not speaking twice on this, but I'm just wondering what she's saying and what you just said about the transfer of the logbooks to county entities and the inability or the unwillingness of county governments to dispose grounded motor vehicles. The question that we should be asking ourselves is, there are vehicles belonging to county governments which are owned with logbooks. They have the logbooks, they own the vehicles, they are grounded. Have they disposed of those vehicles? So that the non-disposal of the county vehicles should not entirely be blamed on lack of transfer of logbooks to county governments. It's something that we've engaged on very, very many times here. Why do we have so many vehicles lying in yards, some in garages? They will never be rehabilitated. The ones that they have, their logbooks, have they disposed of those vehicles?
Okay, yeah, I think that's a very important clarification. Senator
I
Chiraki?
don't know whether you can direct the OAG on these annexed motor vehicles, because they are burnt vehicles, they are grounded, they are also operational, but without legal ownership. Can you direct, because I can see the locations are not known, the status are not known. So is there a possibility of you ordering that in this, to the OAG in this year under review, to follow up on status? Chair, there was a proposal and now it is towards Parliament that either through education or any committee, we should as Parliament, and Senator Sifuna, who might want to run for president, should note this very carefully, we can prepare a policy so that all these grounded vehicles to the government or counties and national should be taken to TVET for our sons and daughters to use for training, especially in mechanical.
Some of them are running archaic technologies.
It's unfortunate, but that is a situation. But instead of selling them without value, we give grounded to TVET for purposes of training. And Chair, this comes in conclusion, sorry for taking long, that there is an NTSA regulations that they want to do inspection for vehicles and all that. So 1910, what will become of it? I know those rules and regulations are coming, and the chair of, I know it's not comfortable me saying this, but I should say it, that there are regulations that are allowing NTSA to do what they are trying to do. So I don't know, we are yet to vote.
So all these vehicles will have to be inspected by NTSA?
Sorry, the report recommended we annul and we celebrate the chair of delegated legislation. So NTSA implementing an illegality. So allow me, Chair, to rest there. Let me not reopen.
Okay, thank you.
Because the man from Taraka is getting spirited.
Let's close the vehicle question and go to the land question.
One point that if Cherargei has any ideas, they're in government now. Let them just do those things he's saying that we should do. Because under the next government, we are dealing with electric vehicles and other new technologies. We cannot be teaching our children how to drive a vehicle that was driven by the DC of Nakuru in 1910. That's not possible. So let them just finish. They have 12 months to finish all these things and then they forget.
Yeah, I think the World War I vehicles don't need to be taken to TVETs. No. Governor, I think make your response brief, because really we are not talking of loss of funds here. We're just talking about prudence in management of resources.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, members. And I like that spirited debate, because actually here we have an issue. One, without the logbooks, even if it's from 1902, we cannot dispose. I mean, we just cannot. We would run... we'll be in trouble. We actually, I'm being told that there's a time before my time where they tried to dispose such assets and they could not because there are no logbooks. So one is that issue of the logbooks. Two, for us, we have made a prudent decision based on finances that for the vehicles we have paid to have NTSA get us logbooks. Those are only the serviceable vehicles, not those that are sitting on stones. But I think, Chair, you have just cracked it. If we could get NTSA to give us waivers on the transfer for those that don't move, maybe at nominal value, then we would be able to dispose of those vehicles, and even if it's 1,000 here, 1,000 there, maybe be able to buy a new vehicle. So that has been a problem. We can't dispose because we don't have the logbooks, and we also cannot go get logbooks for vehicles that are actually not serviceable at all. On the land issue, so that was that on the vehicles. And on the land issue, as we said, we have 10 that we have involved the EACC. Thankfully, one has been returned. The other 9, the investigations are still ongoing. There's also an issue as far as some of the other land from the State Department. of devolution, or where they are not, initially they have to identify the land, value it, and then transfer it to us. So they keep telling us there's no budget. So there's also a financial implication that has made the progress very slow. So those are some of the issues as counties we are facing, but I also agree with you, and I think Senator Dulo said it very well. If you could have the IGRTC people before the Senate, perhaps they can help hasten or kick the ball further down the road, because they really hold the key to unlocking a lot of this. And when they are slow, we are also grounded. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, Mark, so then we maneuver to the land question, because there's a substantive matter there that will bring up the land issue.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I just want to bring to the attention of the committee that when it comes to the transfer of assets, they are broadly categorized into two. There's the assets held by the defunct local authorities and the assets of the devolved functions. When it comes to assets of the defunct local authorities, there's a Gazette Notice number 2701 of 24th March 2017, which transferred all those assets of the defunct local authorities to the counties as is where is basis. That was done. What is still pending, Chair, is a transfer of national government assets now of the devolved functions like agriculture and health, which were held by the central government then. So, Chair, that's, I think, where we are on that.
So on the issue of the motor vehicles, auditor, keep it in view, broaden it out so that we can establish whether there is misapplication of public funds. Now, coming back to the land question, let's just, so that we base everything on the report that is before us, let us go to the audit finding on closure of Nakuru War Memorial Hospital, because therein there is a matter relating to leases. Perhaps that will now help us to understand the issue of land ownership and transfer in Nakuru. So, Auditor General, it's in the audit certificate is under emphasis of matter, closure of Nakuru War Memorial Hospital.
Thank you, Chair. The report is on emphasis of matter number 2, closure of Nakuru War Memorial Hospital. As reported in the previous year, Nakuru War Memorial Hospital sits on a plot number, Nakuru Municipality Block 11/107, that measures approximately 11.25 hectares of also host Nakuru County Referral and Teaching Hospital, Nakuru Annex Hospital, and the State House landfill. The land was leased to War Memorial for 99 years from 1st May 1922. However, the facility, which is a level 4 hospital, has remained closed and idle since the expiry of the lease due to ownership wrangles between county government and Nakuru War Memorial Hospital management that is subject to court case which is ongoing. The hospital has various installations, equipment, buildings, and other assets which are worth millions of shillings, which the national government and county government have invested in over the years. These assets risk obsolete, unserviceable, or being lost or misappropriated due to many years of being idle. In the circumstances, the value for money on the funds also invested in the hospital cannot be achieved, and the residents of Nakuru County and its environments are being denied the intended benefits of the hospitals. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, your response?
Honorable Chair, the matter is still active in court. Sorry, Appendix 2.1, the case number Nakuru E077 of 2024. Sorry.
I think it would be useful, Governor, for you to read what is there on the fourth, that column before the column that you read out. Management responses at 5th February 2026, and maybe it's just confirm the page number.
Sorry, page 366. I'm sorry.
Okay, just read your first management response and then the steps taken, so that we get the totality.
Sorry, Chair.
Okay.
Honorable Chair, there is an active court case involving the county government of Nakuru and the War Memorial Hospital. There is a court order number E077 of 2024 by the Court of Appeal directing the reopening of the hospital, and a joint committee was formed with representation from the county government and the defendants. The joint committee has since been established as per the court order, and deliberations are ongoing. Appendix 2.1 is the court order, and Appendix 2.2 are the appointments.
So, Governor, wouldn't it be useful for you to tell us this joint committee as directed by the court, which you are saying has been formed with representation from the county government and the defendants, what is it supposed to achieve?
Oh, sorry, may I proceed?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, the Court of Appeals directed that there be a joint committee between the county government of Nakuru and the defendants for the hospital to operate as the court cases are determined. The committee was formed, and as you can see, we have attached those appointments. However, the defendants declined to have a joint committee run the hospital as we are waiting on the court cases. So that is why there was a gridlock and we could not proceed. And that is where we are right now.
What is in contention? What is the crux of the matter? Because when I read the Auditor General's observation, the Auditor General ties it to an expired lease. What are the specific matters in court? I believe there's a civil and a criminal matter.
Yes, Chair, as we said, it's an active case, so I can't go into too much detail. However, I will say that there is no lease on that. What they did, they went in, the defendants who have a criminal case that's also active, and forged or fraudulently came up with a lease, and then wanted to continue operating with a fraudulent lease. But it is our position that there is no lease and you cannot just forge one and continue operating. They never went to the NLC. We actually went before the committee of the Senate, the Health Committee of the Senate, and that came out. But I believe that soon the issue will be resolved as the court cases have come to an end. They are at the tail end right now.
So beyond the legal lease, to a woman who is expectant and needs to deliver and is at the doorstep of War Memorial Hospital, they'll be told there's a matter in court, so you can deliver in the bush? Or what's the situation on the ground?
Chair, I'm sure you are aware that there are other hospitals in Nakuru County. As a responsible...
I'm talking about that woman who perhaps lives just next to it.
Annex Hospital and PGH are next door to it. They share a wall, actually. So as a responsible governor who has to take care or is charged with taking care of the public land, I would not feel comfortable just allowing them to continue on fraudulent grounds, which actually they are in court on criminal cases, and just continue because on the flip side, we will say, where will this woman go to? This woman has other options. And because they were leasing it, previously it was a lease from the national government for the 99 years, and the 99 years elapsed. So if you don't have another lease, then go lease another property and continue with the hospital. But okay, you cannot just take public land and continue with it as though there is no crime that has been committed.
So members, legal lease versus lives, legal lease versus
Chair,
livelihoods.
What is astonishing to me is that even from the legal perspective, if you look at the court order from the Court of Appeal at Nakuru, it's a consent order. A consent order by parties. I think, if I remember my law correctly, is that you cannot even appeal it. You cannot appeal a consent order, an order that is issued by consent of the parties. And if you look at the terms of the order, at paragraph 2 there, it is at page 368, Chair. The hospital shall be opened immediately under the joint management of 2 persons nominated by the applicant and 2 persons nominated by the first and second respondents. At paragraph 3, the court repeats itself that the 5 members shall immediately open the hospital with proper management and control over all issues relating to the hospital. This order is from 1st of October 2024, Governor. Doesn't your legal team know what to do when people violate consent orders? What have you done about, if there is a court order that was very clear in its terms, you can't just say that the parties refused and then you roll over and then run to the Senate. That's not possible. There are legal implications of parties who violate court orders. So what have you done to address that as an entity from October of 2024 is what I want to know.
Governor?
Yeah, may I respond to that?
Yes.
As I said, and as you have seen the attached appendix here, we did the appointments, and the same people who are in court claiming that there is an urgency in reopening the hospital refused to proceed with the appointed committee.
That's clear.
So
what
we
have you done?
we have asked our county attorney to go back to court for contempt. But you also cannot come and say that you need the hospital opened today and then refuse to do what the Court of Appeals has said.
Governor, those other parties are not here. And the chair's concern is that woman who lives next to the hospital who needs to use that hospital. If we have agreed that the hospital is going to be opened immediately, from October of 2024, we are now in July of 2026.
Yes.
Governor, you can't sit there and tell us that today is when you have instructed your council to go back. When did these people violate this court order?
Since then, they were called by my people to come and open the hospital, and they declined. They said they will not participate.
Our concern is not what they have done or not done. What have you as a government done? Because you should have gone to court immediately the same day and told the court that these people are in contempt of the
We
court.
are not the ones with the urgency to open. It is them. So if they do not want to open together with the county,
Governor,
you will get into a lot of problems.
Governor, please just calm down, because that's a dangerous.
I'm down,
it's a dangerous statement.
By the way, I'm completely calm down. You haven't seen me up.
Governor, we've seen you when you are calm. You are not calm. So please.
You're trying to put words in my mouth.
No,
the chair is trying to help you.
I'm trying to help you, Governor.
No, don't help me.
I'm trying to help you. I have the prerogative as a chair to guide this meeting. There is no responsible county governor that can say that they have no urgency to open a health facility. That cannot be something. No, order, Governor. Order. You're telling me not to help you, now you want to respond. Do you want to say those condescending remarks on record?
I mean, you are saying the chair is condescending, honestly?
Yeah, I mean, when you say I want to help,
you cannot cast aspersions on the chair.
Okay, sorry,
you have been a speaker and a member of the House.
No, Chair.
I have desired, honourable members, I know these tricks.
Which tricks?
When issues are heavy, people resort to side shows so that we terminate the meeting. This meeting is not terminating. This meeting shall continue. Whether the client is hostile or not, we shall continue. So, Senator Sifuna, please proceed.
Chair, the question was very straightforward, Governor. If we go to court with you and the court says you guys go and do this, if the other party doesn't do that, and you're being let down by your legal team, they know what to do, unless there is something that you are not telling us. Because I had somebody introduce themselves there as a county solicitor.
Yes.
You have in-house legal help. You have a court order for the people of Nakuru. Why is it not possible for you to go back to the court and say, these guys are in contempt of court? Is there a story that you don't want us to know?
Now, members, let's get the interjection so that, because I do not want an exchange between the governor and my committee, let the governor take note of the questions, then she will respond. Senator
maybe I can add on what Sivuna was trying to raise, and what the chair is trying also to raise. And I can tell the reason why maybe the governor is so, with due respect, with a lot of agitation, is because whatever she's saying, she's lying. She's lying to the committee as a senator of Nakuru County. I can clarify that.
Governor, sorry, Senator.
Is that in order?
Order, Governor. This is my job. Senator, just withdraw the word lying.
I've withdrawn. I've withdrawn.
Yeah, proceed.
With a lot of respect, I've withdrawn. But the War Memorial Hospital has a genuine lease. I want to put this in record so that after this you can know what to do, so you can help the Nakuru people. Has a genuine lease. The War Memorial Hospital has 10 court orders to be reopened, that hospital. I've just heard from our governor, from actually the governor, that it is the joint committee on the side of the War Memorial. They are the ones who refused to come for the meeting. But for me, what I have on my table is that your side of the county government, in that committee, they are the ones who've been frustrating that joint committee to do the needful or what they've been directed to do by the courts. And what now I have, the report I have on my whatever, the report now I have is that there is demolition of buildings and properties within the hospital, and it is sad that it is being done out of the offices of the county government. I don't know whether you're aware of that. And then, are you aware that that act that they are doing is criminal? These are criminal acts. And what is the motive of the demolitions of the hospital? So to me, to the chairman now, is to ask, I know the health committee, I took this matter to the Senate, and the health committee were directed to take up the matter. They didn't do anything when they came to Nakuru. They just went round and round, entered the office of the governor, went to Baringo and left. But then now, I think the Nakuru County people want that hospital reopened. I know there are many hospitals, what the governor is saying, but it has been reported that our hospitals are congested. 3 women are lying in one bed, even after giving birth. It's known that they've been congested. So we need that hospital to be reopened, because the services that we used to give, it is the same services like the ones we come all the way to Nairobi Hospital. So our people now are being referred maybe to go to Eldoret, to other neighboring counties, where we know the War Memorial used to serve, even the neighboring counties, and it was one of the top hospitals. So if the courts have directed that hospital to be reopened, I think Her Excellency has the liberty to ensure that that hospital is opened. And being the lawyer, it's better than me. Me, I'm not a lawyer. Me, I'm just a business person. The way the control of budget is trying to show that there is a lot of things being wasted there, running out. There are machines in the hospital, and they are all running out now. So, and it's about 2.5 years but that hospital has been closed. The courts have stocked. Even the CG has also, I mean, not CG, the Comittee has also talked that the county government should, whatever the court orders, they should not defy court orders. Whatever the courts have said, they should obey the court orders.
Thank you, Senator. I think it all goes back to enforcement of the order of the court on page 368, and what Senator has raised ties with what Senator Sifuna had raised earlier. Senator Ambua, then Senator Chirake.
Thank you, Chair. At some point, I had raised an issue, but the lawyer seated next to me whispered and said, it's okay, let it slide. Now, Chair, you know, this matter of the Nakuru War Memorial Hospital is a matter that is in the public domain. And Chair, remember we had this during our briefing, and I just want to go on record on this. Why can't we go to the audit query, service the audit query, and then if there is another thing that we need to deal with around that facility, then we deal with it. Because what we risk, Chair, is to get into the other issues around the facility outside of the audit query, and we will not be able to handle the audit query. I'm saying this because I've had the senator from Nakuru reinstate the situation in that facility. I'm very sure if the governor gets an opportunity, she will have a different story to say about the same facility. Seated here, Chair, we can only ventilate. I'm not sure there is so much that we can do to decide who do we believe between the parties involved. Why can't we deal with the audit query? What is the Auditor General querying, and how can we address that audit query? Then we can deal with other issues, Chair.
Thank you, Senator. Senator, Appendix 2.1 has been provided by the Governor, and it's included on page 368, 369, 370. So I think page 368, I think the senators who have asked questions have based it on that order of the court. I think that's the grounding for the conversations and the follow-up questions. So I think it's perfectly in order to make references to that appendix. Senator Cherarke.
Yeah, I have no problem with the appendix. I just want to go to the query. Deal with it, then you can go to the appendix.
No, we are dealing with the answer to the query. Yeah, because the appendix is the governor's answer to the query. Senator Cherarke.
Through the chair, Governor, you know, we've been trying to follow this story of Nakuru Memorial Hospital. And until I read chair and realized at one time your party leader, this is the hospital that saved him when he had an accident before he was being brought to Nairobi Hospital. So it's very critical. Your party leader, of course, Raila Odinga. So, Governor, that's why some of us have been very keen with this hospital. My only two questions, Governor. According, you know, county governments, and it's good you are a lawyer, you are the custodians of public land. So, in the title deed, who is the owner of this land and what is the size? Number two, Governor, you have attached a document where you appointed your CC, Rose Wanjiru Munga. She's still the CC of Health. Is still there, okay. And Samuel Mwangi Mwaura is still the county secretary. Governor, would you have assisted us by showing us the intent of your officers? Did they show up maybe in the hospital? Was there minutes even to start the meeting? Was there something recorded that shows that on your part, as per the Court of Appeal order, you had an intention and an aim to ensure the hospital is reopened? Because you and me agree, any health facility that will assist in treating our Kenyans will be more than welcome. So was there an intent from your part? And finally, I've heard the county solicitor, and maybe you will allow through you to tell us, because he is being paid salary through the taxpayers of Nakuru and Kenyans. Because it is, you are one person, but these are some of the people who advise us. They should have noticed that when there was violation of this court order, because I want to believe the county attorney or county solicitor sits in your cabinet, he should have alerted you as the governor and told you there is a contempt against court order. So is it the right time that the county solicitor might tell us also, because he cannot run away from responsibility? And Chair, you remember we have even sanctioned membership members who violate their membership, including East Park and Law Society of Kenya. So if we find that the Nakuru County Solicitor or County Attorney did not do his job by ensuring that the contempt proceedings are pursued, then this committee, we might be forced to write to the LSK for disciplinary action, because these are part of professional work that they should do to advise the county government. So, Chair, those will be my three questions.
Okay, for Senator Maruma.
Yeah, for me, I would like clarity from the governor. If Nakuru Memorial Hospital is a private hospital or a public hospital, because my reading of the query in this second last paragraph is that the hospital has various installations, equipment, buildings and other assets which are worth millions of shillings and which the national and the county governments have invested over the years. Why, if it is a private hospital, should the national government and the county government invest monies there? I would want that clarity, Chair.
Governor, you may respond to the various issues. Oh, sorry, before you respond, Senator Mogeni, then Senator Gataya.
Yeah, Chair. I'd like to know from Governor. This matter was in court on 1st of October, 2024. Yeah? And the court directed that parties were to appear in court on 7th of October, 2024, to confirm compliance. And the third directive was that this matter was to be heard before the High Court and be concluded within 60 days. Meaning, Chair, that even the High Court appreciated the urgency of this matter. And we know our health facilities are really not able to meet the demands of Kenyans. And I mean, if you really have the interests of your people, you will understand that we don't have enough medical facilities. So from this date, 1st of October 2024, you appeared in court formation, no compliance. 60 days for the hearing of the matter is over. We are now in July 2026. What has the county government done to ensure that this matter is concluded one way or the other?
Okay, Senator Gataya.
Chair, we are treating two conflicting statements that Memorial Hospital as a genuine release away from the one that expired of 99 years. Then we have another statement that tells us that that release was fraudulently acquired. So I don't know which one are we are supposed to consume as a committee. Those are two conflicting statements.
Okay, if I were to give directions, we have already been informed that the criminal proceedings are on the validity of the lease. So to go into it will be sub judice. So we'll set that aside. It's a matter that is before the courts for determination. Senator Adulo?
Chair, we are really taking a lot of time on this matter. And the concerns raised by the Auditor General is on the value of the land, or value for money, which I believe genuinely, even if the land was allocated by national government then, right now it is owned by county government. It's important to pursue that matter to get a consideration on the property that is in hand. Number two, we have also to look at the service delivery, which is also critical. Of course, looking at the population of Nakuru. I think Governor should tell us how far she has pushed on the matter of the decision of the court, because there is contempt of court in this particular matter. If she gives us evidence, then we can be able to give our way forward as far as Auditor General report is concerned. I thank you, Chair.
Governor, you may respond.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. One, I still hold my position that we did what the court had asked us to do, which was appoint members to this joint committee. And the county did that, and you have seen the attachments. But I am also saying, I'm also saying that the defendants have frustrated the reopening of the hospital jointly because they feel that it should be just them running the hospital. And again, I still hold my position. Health is devolved. That land, the lease expired. We have a new constitution. The land reverts back to the county. Number two, there was a question as far as how big that land is. It is 27 acres and also includes most of State House, Nakuru. It was part of that title. So we have that landing area for State House. We have another of my public hospitals, the Annex Hospital, that's on that title as well. So I will not sit pretty and not fight to make sure that the land reverts back to the people of Nakuru County. So that's important. The cases are still going. I am told we are almost at the tail end, so the determination should be coming here soon. We did go in front of the Senate committee, and if I am not wrong, the Health Committee, I believe Senator Omogeni sits in that committee. The Nakuru senator has also claimed that when they came to my office, the issue disappeared. Well, we have one of them sitting here, so he may know or may not know. So I don't know what that implication of that statement was.
Yeah, Governor, let's just restrict ourselves to the audit issues.
Sorry. Yeah, I was responding. You know, Chair, these are serious issues that have been raised, so I need to respond. So as far as talking about 3 women lying in the same bed, it is not true. But sometimes we like to throw things out there, because especially health, some people feel that it's more emotive. So if we come up with imaginations, then maybe it's gonna stick. So at the end of the day, I am just disappointed, and I will say it, that the senator of Nakuru is holding brief for criminals in a criminal case.
Order, Governor. Governor, order. You cannot make those kind of allegations on a senator sitting in the Senate. You know the rules. You've been the Speaker of a House. Can you withdraw those comments, Governor, that the senator of Nakuru is holding brief for criminals? That cannot be accepted.
But luckily she's here. She can say yes or no.
Order. I am the chair. Order. My duty is to enforce order. Governor, you will withdraw those comments that the senator of Nakuru is holding brief for criminals. When she called you a liar, I told her to withdraw. Please follow suit and withdraw so that we can proceed.
Okay, she's holding brief for the defendants. Is that better?
Governor, please just withdraw. I didn't ask you to paraphrase. I asked you to withdraw so that we can proceed. This is a house of order.
Okay.
I will not accept any member here or even you, Governor, being accused of illegalities. I will defend and protect you. I will defend and protect my senators. Please go on
but
record.
If I can substantiate.
Please go. You want to substantiate?
By her own statements. She's holding brief for that instead of for the public land.
So it is your view that you want us to spend this session on substantiation of your allegations?
We can.
It is not a useful application of the time of the Senate.
It's not useful, but I was ready. Because you also said I'm saying that so we can close down the meeting. I can be here until 6, substantiating.
Governor,
but it's okay, I will withdraw.
Fine. Now you can proceed.
For criminals, I will withdraw.
Now you can proceed.
Okay. So, Chair, maybe some of it may say, some senator may say I'm agitated or that we are bringing sideshows. It is not sideshows. It is just I feel very strongly that as a governor of Nakuru County, it is my duty to make sure that public land is not fraudulently taken by people and then come back and say because it's a hospital, we must let them continue. So yes, we have our county attorney has been instructed.
The rules of sub judice in the standing orders bar us from discussing matters that are substantively before the court.
Yes.
The issue of ownership, the issue of legality of leases is part of the criminal proceedings in court.
Yes.
Let us not discuss them. Let me guide you that come back to order number 7, order number 6 and number 7 in the order that you have attached. That was a question asked by Senator Omogeni.
Yes.
Let's address that. At least that is safe ground.
And,
that will not make us go sub judice.
I agree, Chair. And in fact, at the beginning, if you recall, I had told you we should. I actually should not be responding to this because it's sub judice.
No. What is before us is not sub judice. The order of the court is not sub judice unless you confirm that order number 6, unless you tell us how order number 6 and 7 were implemented. That was a question that was raised by Senator Omogeni.
But Chair, you can't also sit there and let some of these senators throw some allegations here regarding what I am not doing as far as health, and then when I respond, it's sub judice.
Governor, I request you to address yourself to order number 6 and order number 7.
Which is 6 and 7? Which one?
And if it is to help to refresh that this particular order, mention of compliance was to be done on 7th of October 2024.
Oh, okay, it's that one. Okay.
And that the High Court was to determine the dispute within the next 60 days. Perhaps order number 6 is not yours. Just tell us how order number 7 was dealt with. Was there a mention of compliance?
Yes, that's the one of the, with the attachments. So, Chair, that's the one we have responded and given you the attachments as I speak. And as a county, we have done what the court required us to do, which was form or participate in the formation of that joint committee. Our 2 members in the 5-member committee, who is the CEC for Health, she's still the CEC for Health, and the county secretary are still part of that membership. Now, as I stated, and I will just repeat it for the flow of this, that we have done our part, but the defendants feel that they cannot reopen the hospital jointly with the county, and they have been saying that they will go back to court for that. So, Chair, that is where we are. However, I have instructed a couple of weeks ago, my county attorney...
Governor, have you read order number 7? Order number 7. So that we deal with that. I don't want us to stray.
Okay. Yeah, that's, I'm responding as far as the order by the High Court. Isn't that the one?
Order number 7 required that mention of compliance be done on 7th of October.
Oh, okay.
Compliance with this order.
Okay.
That's what we are asking, because you have told us the stories about how the other party is not cooperating.
Yeah.
So can you just tell us whether that order has been addressed or it's before the courts? So that if it's before the courts, we leave it as sub judice.
I can quickly ask and we can return. I can come back to it. But I know we have gone to every hearing. There is no hearing that has been missed.
Was there
so I'm sure this
was there a mention of compliance on 7th of October?
Can I ask the attorney, who is one of your senators?
Yeah, because that is critical. For us, we will not deal with other issues. We just want to know why this order cannot be enforced.
Who is the attorney?
The attorney of record is Professor Ojienda, who is one of the senators. But I will ask him real quick.
Where is he?
Governor, is there anyone, order members, is there anyone in your delegation who can give us, yeah, because I thought you had someone from the legal.
He can.
It's a clear question. It was asked by a senior counsel, and I think it requires just a clear, direct answer.
Thank you very much, Chair. The matter, I can confirm that on that particular date, it didn't come up for compliance, but it's coming up on 22nd of this month for the ruling of the applications.
Senior counsel?
You see, Wakili, compliance means that you have to tell the court whether order number 2 that required the hospital to be opened had been opened. So what we want to know is, when you went to court, did you tell the court you have complied, or what is on record? When you went back to court, what did you tell the court? Because the court wanted to know whether you had complied with order number 2 that said War Memorial Hospital shall be opened immediately. So what did you tell the court?
Thank you, Senator. On that day, the court did not sit, yeah? Did not sit on that particular day, yeah. But we got another date, and we are hoping that we can get the final ruling on 22nd of July to put this matter to rest.
So since October 2014, the court never sat again to know whether there was compliance of a court order?
On that particular issue, to check on compliance, I would need to confirm.
My God, you are letting down your governor terribly.
Yes.
Terribly.
Since 24, we've gotten 10 court orders to reopen that hospital.
Yeah. So honourable members, I thought we were going to get some substantive answer on that. Members, that is a situation we shall be the judges.
That is why the good advocate, we should take it up with the membership, with the Law Society. And Governor, that explains why you had to look for Senator Professor Tom Ojienda. Because if you are in House Council cannot answer something that says just compliance.
Can I add?
Okay, order members.
I wanted to add on something on Cherangei.
Okay, now let's have.
You've been calling for the RSK.
Yes.
That is going to record. RSK demonstrated in the Nakuru, and before they reached the office of the governor, they were beaten with stones by police. It's good to go in record.
Okay. Senator Tabitha.
Very serious.
Senator Tabitha and Senator Cherarkei, we have the order before us, which has been adduced as evidence. Order members. We have the order before us, which has been adduced as evidence of progress made to reopen the hospital. It has been stated by the governor under oath that the hospital is not yet open because of non-cooperation of the other partners. But we have also seen clearly in the order that there was supposed to be a mention of compliance, which was not done. We will then have to sit down and interrogate where the problem is. Is it in the judiciary that did not bring up the matter for mention? Is it the county that sees no sense of urgency? Or is it the other party? We, as judges on this matter, we do not have to pronounce ourselves, but we have all the facts before us. We have all the records before us. Let us restrict ourselves to the issue of value for money. Let us restrict ourselves to the issues of public interest and let's allow the courts to deal with the issues of ownership of land. But I think from where we sit, it sounds unconscionable that you will have a hospital that is fully equipped that is shut down as a result of legal disputes. That is not prudence. That is not the definition of prudence as per the Constitution and as per the PFM Act. So, members, we can leave it at that. Let the citizens of Nakuru be the judge on who is at fault on this. Senator Cherake.
I thought the issue is about lease, but not ownership of the land. I thought that should come out.
Members, we benefited from the earlier brief. The question of lease and ownership is an active matter in court. Okay. So we leave that for the courts to determine. I think the matter that we can address is value for money and prudence in application of public resources. Now, members, can we make some progress?
Yeah, may I? Just one minute on that. Because I did say that I will ask the substantive attorney on the case. And I have the answer that actually they were in court yesterday. And we have closed our case. So we have completed our part. The issue of compliance is a substantial part of the trial. So even by discussing it so much, it's sub judice. And because the case has come to an end, and as you have heard, the ruling is on July 22nd. I think it would make sense to wait and see the outcome of the case then, because it's been a lot of litigations. There's actually a lot of cases pending based on this, but this is the main case. But just for the record, as I conclude, the same cases, the same issues happened in Machakos and Kakamega, where such hospitals were such people tried to fraudulently take these hospitals. So Nakuru is not unique, and we shall not give up on fighting for the rights of Nakuru people.
We shall give specific recommendations for Nakuru County, because that's the entity before us. Honorable members, I want us to move on to the other residual matters. We had come from the motor vehicle ownership to the land ownership, and we came to this matter of Nakuru War Memorial. Now, let's go back to the other issues of numbers. Auditor General, you had flagged unaccounted disbursements to another county fund. You had advised that the 1.96 billion queried there has now been accounted for?
Yes, Chair, that one has been accounted for, but we combined it with the question number 8. That's what's talking of lawfulness of retaining monies for the public facilities, non-compliance with the Finance Act.
Okay, so for avoidance of doubt, and for those who do not have the documents before us, the 1.96 billion were transferred to which entities?
Public health facilities.
And have these public health facilities prepared their financial statements?
They prepared financial statements.
So they will be subject to audit?
They had already submitted the audit, and we have verified the bank statements that the county provided, and we traced how the money was disbursed to the facilities.
Okay, so then we look at non-compliance with Facility Improvement Financing Act. You can read your finding.
Thank you, Chair. That is number 8 under financial issues, non-compliance with the Improvement Facility Financing Act. And I would go to paragraph 3, which reads, in addition, the Facility Improvement Financing FIF revenue were deposited into the general county revenue accounts instead of designated facility bank accounts. This was contrary to the provisions of Section 20, subsection 1 of the Facility Improvement Financing Act 2023, which requires that all revenues...
Why didn't you want to start from the top? You went to the summary.
Chair, we have just discussed that the transfers were supported. So maybe...
No, just read the whole issue so that we put it in context.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for that. Number 8 is on non-compliance with Facility Improvement Financing Act 2023. Review of county records for level 4 and 5 hospitals revealed that 16 facilities collected 1.79 billion and transferred a nil amount to the county revenue fund. Further available records indicate that the amount of 1.7 billion was disbursed to 16 hospitals from the Facility Improvement Fund collection account. However, the hospital financial statement reflected...
Just for order, because we will transcribe from the answer, why does the OAG read the entire amount so that it's captured? Because she's just saying 1.7 billion. I thought it's good so that when we are transcribing, we capture them.
OAG, just read your finding as is.
Okay,
yeah.
Let me start again. Review of county revenue fund for level 4 and level 5 hospitals revealed that 16 facilities collected 1,797,785,103 and transferred nil amount to the county revenue fund. Further available records indicate that the amount of 1,797,785,103 was disbursed to 16 hospitals for the Facility Improvement Fund collection account. However, the hospital's financial statements reflected a total amount of 1.7 billion 726,123,564 as having received for the FIF account, resulting to unexplained and disbursed amount of 71,663,539. Further, the county government of Nakuru receiver of revenue statement reflect transfer of another county fund FIF amount of 1,960,729,790, which is at variance with the county records amount of 1,797,785,103, resulting into unexplained variance of 162,944,687. The inconsistency between the various records has not been explained by the management. In addition, the Facility Improvement Financing FIF revenues were deposited into the general county revenue accounts instead of the designated facility bank accounts. This was contrary to the provision of Section 20, subsection 1 of the Facility Improvement Financing Act 2023, which requires that all revenues collected by health facilities be retained in designated FIF accounts utilized strictly for approved operations and improvement activities. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of county revenue amounting to 1,797,785,103 could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, you may respond.
Honorable Chair, we submit that the amount of...
Sorry, again, since we are working a bit, we are not going page by page. Just read out the page numbers so that members can be there.
Sorry. It's page 329. Honorable Chair, I'll let them find it.
Okay, you may proceed.
Thank you. Honorable Chair, we submit that the amount of 1,797,200,000 how do you read it? 1,797,211,998 was the amount collected by the 16 hospital facilities. Appendix 8.1 is the audit certificate. Kenya shillings 1,960,729,780 and 90 were total disbursements to other county funds, that is the FIF operational accounts. Reconciliation of transfers to another county fund details. Opening balance as of 1st July 2024, 399,994,975. Add collections of 1,797,211,998. Less closing balance as of 30th June 2025 of 234,606,987. Less bank charges of 1,874,195. So total transfers to another county fund of 1,960,729,790. And the county fund is the FIF operational accounts. So details. Total transfers to another county fund is the 1,960,729,790. Less collections, 1,797,211,998, and the variance of 162,944,687. That is Appendix 8.2, analysis of the reconciliations. The management has taken the following steps: prepared and submitted a reconciliation statement to the auditors for verification. Appendix 8.3, forwarding letter of management response.
Auditor General, the unexplained and disbursed amount of 71,663,539, has it been explained?
Yes, Chair, this has been explained because at the close of the financial year, the various hospital facilities had a closing cash book balance, which was not taken into consideration during the reconciliation. And when we reconciled with the reconciliation, they are provided, the issue has been addressed.
The unexplained variance of 162,944,687, has it been addressed?
Thank you, Chair. This one has been addressed because this receiver of revenue statement was projecting the analysis from the receipts that were in the system, but the money that was transferred to the county account has been reconciled with the statement that had not been
On the third question on lawfulness, compliance with Section 21 of the FIF Act, has that been addressed?
Chair, this one is what is pending because the Act is, the Section 20 is very clear that each facility should retain all the monies that they collect and to be approved for operations for the improvement of the activities.
Governor, you may want to make a comment on that because the first two issues have been addressed. There is now the issue of compliance with Section 20 of the FIF Act.
Well, thank you, Chair. I'll hand over to my CEC Finance.
Proceed. And for answered purposes, just restate your name and your designation.
Stephen Jogo, CEC in charge of Finance and Economic Planning, Nakuru County. Since March of 2025, we are in compliance. We opened the FIF Nakuru County FIF Revenue Collection Account, and at the same time we opened Nakuru County FIF Special Purpose Account at the CBK.
So you have complied from March 2025?
Yes.
Auditor General, from March 2025, no, that's outside your current scope of audit.
Chair, it was during the time they were closing the financial year, but I think being that they have opened it at Central Bank, we'll include it in our books in there for the.
So you can keep that in view and advise us on whether they've complied with the Act.
Thank you, Chair.
Honourable members, we can come back to payables. I know there's an issue on receivables, but there's also an issue on payables. Let's start with payables, because those receivables will still remain as a debt in the books. They'll, unless there was an issue about the write-off. So, Auditor General, tell us what you established on trade and other payables balance.
Thank you, Chair. This is number 5 under our financial statements. The statement of financial position reflects trade and other payable balance of 6,486,882,856 and a comparative balance of 1,478,761,394, which reflect an increase of 5,007,325,462 for the year under review as disclosed in Note 32 to the financial statement. However, review of the supporting schedule reflect balance of 5,843,012,076, resulting to an explained and unreconciled variance of 643,070,092. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of trade and other payables balance of 6,486,082,856 could not be confirmed. Thank you, Chair.
I believe there's another finding on trade payables. Is it coming under lawfulness?
Yes, Chair, it's coming under lawfulness.
Long-standing payables.
Yes, it's number 1 under lawfulness.
Can you just read it so that we deal with this issue of trade payables jointly? And members, you can also look at Note 32, which we usually analyze the aging analysis of the debt, so that we deal with this issue of pending bills collectively.
Thank you, Chair. Number 1 under lawfulness is long outstanding trade and other payables. The statement of financial positions reflect trade and other payable balance of 6,486,082,856 as disclosed in Note 32 to the financial statement. However, review of age analysis revealed that there was a balance of 1,478,761,394, or 23% of total payables have been outstanding for more than 1 year. This was contrary to Section 53, Subsection 8 of the Public Procurement and Assets Disposal Act 2015, which states that an accounting officer shall not commence any procurement proceedings until satisfied that the sufficient funds to meet the obligation of the resulting contract are reflected in the approved budget estimate. Further, failure to clear trade payables in the year to which they relate distort the budget of the following year as they constitute to a first charge on the budget. In the circumstances, management was in breach of the law and the county executive runs the risk of incurring significant and unqualified costs on interest and penalties associated with delays in settling the invoiced bill. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, Governor, we have handled 2 queries, but they relate to the same matter, trade payables. So maybe you first deal with the issue of the 5 billion growth in trade payables in 1 year, and then you go to the other matter of trade payables worth 1.478 billion that have been outstanding for more than 1 year.
Thank you, Chair. To the members and everyone, it's page 309, the first one. 309. Honorable Chair, the variance amounting to 643,070,092 relating to grants and transfers to other entities was not reflected in the trade payables schedule, but it was appropriately recognized and disclosed in the statement of financial position. The management has taken the following steps. 1, the trade payables schedule figure of 5,843,012,764 has been adjusted to incorporate the variance of 643,070,092, hence reconciling with the statement of financial position figure of 486,082,856 as per the schedule provided. Appendix 5.1 has the reconciliation statement. In addition, Management has undertaken several capacity building workshops for accountants to strengthen technical competencies, particularly in the application of IPSAS 33 and other relevant accounting standards. Appendix 5.2 has the IPSAS training. I go straight through to the next.
Maybe we can ask questions on this, then we go to the other one of the aged debt. Auditor General, does that response address your concern?
Thank you, Chair. The response was addressed because most of the variants that we were querying were the payables, the money that was to be transferred to various fund accounts, which has since been provided. Thank you, Chair.
Now, so that deals with 643 million.
Yes, Chair, they have reconciled.
But the bigger question, Governor, is how you close a year with a debt of 5 billion under 1 year. What were the circumstances? Because the prior year, the opening balance was 0. And this year, 5 billion was debt less than 1 year. The prior year opening statement balance was 1.4 billion, and then you close the year at 6.4 billion, which indicates that your pending bills, what we usually call pending bills, has grown by 5 billion. That's what percentage growth is that? From 1.4 to 6.4. That's almost a 4 times growth. What were the circumstances, and what is the plan to settle that 5 billion debt, and what has been achieved so far?
Oh, thank you, Chair. I'll turn it over to the CEC Finance.
CEC?
Thank you, Chair. During the close of last financial year, there was a change in financial reporting, where the Controller of Budget required us to report anything that was not covered or paid by close of day on 30th June. And most of these were even monies that we had already requisitioned and we are waiting for the Controller of Budget to approve. But most of it has been paid. As we are talking now, the bill is around 2.1 billion as of close of May this year.
Do you have any evidence of payments made during the year?
Yes.
So, recite them in the appendices in these documents?
I didn't.
Is there evidence before us on the payment progress?
It is in my second and third quarter financial and non-financial reporting to the National Treasury and Control of Budget, which we can provide.
So probably you are responding to 642 in this?
The whole figure of 6.4 billion.
I think what you've tendered is to close the gap of the unreconciled variance of 643, but this is a supplementary question on how you closed at 5 billion, and you are saying it was a cutoff. Now, how did this cutoff only affect Nakuru and not other counties? Because we have seen 46 other counties, and none of them has reported that kind of figure, and where they have reported that kind of figure, they have given reasons of late disbursements from the Exchequer. Now you are giving a completely different technical reason.
Chair, if you look at it, if you get the Exchequer releases late, you are not able to pay within the month of June. But for all the requisitions that are already in the system by close of day 30th June, you are able to pay all the way to end of July and maybe 1 or 3 days in August.
CEC, just speak in English.
Yes.
Is this money that came late, so you are not able to pay within the financial year, and then it came and you settled? I think we have seen that. We saw a county like Kilifi closing with a huge pending bill of 4 billion. They said the money came late in July, but they were able to demonstrate that subsequently they paid. Now that's English, but if you tell us about cutoff and standards, you'll confuse us.
Yeah, that's it.
So why are you saying that you paid during the third quarter? It should be in the first quarter. And if it is in the first quarter, it must be, the evidence must be here.
Payment, if you look at the way the system is designed, as long as the contractor or the supplier has submitted request for payment by close of day 30th June, you are able to process the payment even within the first quarter.
What was your last exchequer release in this financial year, and when did it come through?
The 2024-25.
Yes, this year under review. Did it come before 30th of June, or it came after 30th of June?
I think it came in the first or second week of July. But
Treasury usually gives a window of 14, 15 days. Or Treasury, was this different in this financial year?
Chair, it's true the exchequer for that specific year left the first week of July, but the counties had all the way to 15 to make the payment. So they consumed the exchequer. It may have seemed as if it was late, but it was used in the specific year because the budget is opened for the previous year to consume the money that was for the previous year.
You see?
But Chair, if you look at the reporting was as of 30th June.
So you're saying you're reporting before you receive the last tranche of the exchequer?
Yes.
But you see, Chair, what I find difficult with Waziri is that he says there is even a schedule of payments or settlements. But that schedule is only available to him. I mean, what would be the easiest thing to make that available to everyone? So
and even though the governor said she does not need my help, when you report that your pending bills have grown from 1.4 billion to 6.4 billion, you are causing yourself unnecessary political crisis, because people will say you are not paying suppliers. So I don't know whether you still need my help or not, but let's hear from Senator Chirarke.
You can help, Chair.
Senator Chirarke.
Chair, mine is on this CEC. You didn't demonstrate, but I've seen the reconciliation of 648 million. This, why in your financial statements you did demonstrate this 5 billion, and then the aspect you should have indicated is it because of this you're arguing that it was given late? What is the role of EGP, the e-procurement, in ensuring that such money do not get hold on? And then finally, Chair, to the governor, I've seen in your aging analysis, over 3 years, the 11% of there is a pending bill of 11% or trade payables of 11%, that is 681,130,092 shillings. Many counties, when they took over, they used to do what we call, although the courts in Kitale stopped it, they used to do what we call pending bill verification. In this aspect of over 3 years, Governor, was there any either gazetted or your internal pending bill verification of this 11% that you owe? And then finally, Chair, combining both 2 to 3 years of 273 million, 523 million, Governor, this is a significant amount. Of course, I appreciate Nakuru is a very huge and vast county. What is it attached to? Is it more of recurrent or expenditure, the certificates that are being raised by suppliers and the people or contractors in that region? So, Chair, if the governor can answer those 3 concerns.
Okay. Senator Maruma.
Yeah, mine is just on the notes. I'm looking at the note 32 on trade and other payables. And it is indicated that employee payables compensation is 554,458,051. How much do you pay per month for employee salaries? About how much? And is this 554 million for maybe June salaries only, or for other months?
Okay, yeah, Governor, you may respond, taking note also that your total revenue for that year was, Auditor General, can you help me to get the actual number? I know it was contentious when you are computing the fiscal responsibility. What was the total revenue?
That one is on page 1 of the financial statement on financial performance. It is 15 billion 593 million 236,618.
15 billion.
15 billion, yes.
15 billion. Yes. Out of the 15 billion, 6.4 billion are debts. That's what the financial statements are telling us, isn't it? Auditor General, is that the right interpretation?
Chair, no.
What is the interpretation? Because you have trade and other payables of 6.4 billion.
This 6.4 billion, I think it includes even the previous carried forward trade payables.
Correct. You have 15 billion for the year, but you have 6 billion in debt for current and prior years. Isn't it? Because the accountants must speak to the public. The standards and the reports must speak to the public. We must reduce it to a language that the public understands. So, Governor, there have been many, many questions from my colleagues. You can respond to them.
Okay, I'll say it in general, and then if there are specifics, I'll turn over to my people. One, that's a good question on the 6 billion or the, is it 5 billion? Part of that is salaries, because when the money comes after June 30th, it is paid the next financial year. So it would look to you like a pending bill, but it's truly not a pending bill. It's just salaries. The cutoff of June 30th then messes with that. I think that was the first year of accrual accounting. And then part of the other stuff, part of that bill, my salaries, by the way, I think a senator asked that, is about 600 million or $500 million per month. And then part of that money too is requisitions for suppliers after the cutoff of June 30th. So a lot of it is then processed and paid within the month of July of that, because also our money comes in late. And I want, for the record, actually even Standard and the Star ran something on us and said Nakuru was number 2 in paying pending bills. So we don't play about pending bills, we pay them. But this has a lot to do with the accounting system that was in place, or that's in place.
There were some questions by Senator Cherargei on the breakdown of the or the aging of the debt. And again,
sorry.
And again, we are complicating a very simple question, because what perhaps you ought to have demonstrated without getting into too much jargon is that late disbursement, and confirm how much it was, and then provide evidence that when it came, it was eventually applied to pay staff, it was eventually applied to pay trade payables. I think that would have clearly given a way forward. But if we make it a technical thing, then we get lost in it. So I don't know, CC, how much is that was received on 2nd of July?
Around 1.2 billion.
Then that does not answer the problem. That does not answer the problem, because 1.2 is hardly enough to pay your salaries. Well, it covers your salaries. Huh? You said 1 or 2 or 1.2?
1.2.
1.2?
Yes.
So then that does not answer, does not cure the problem.
Chair, maybe also, where the debt has been aged over 3 years, and I think Senator Cherargei asked this. Over 3 years, we have 681 million. 130,092. Out of these, how much are staff payables? And how much are third-party deductions and statutory deductions? This 681. Is it possible to get that segregation?
Yes.
That breakdown?
Yes.
Where is it?
And maybe
ideally under this note.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe also to add to that, because I had Seragai asking what Excellency Governor inherited on pending bills. It was about 800 million when she took over the government. You check and see. That's what we have. So, and then monthly reimbursement or allocation is about 1.2 or 1.3 billion, whatever you're talking about, 1 month, monthly. So, having raised the pending bills to be 6.4 billion, then I can confirm that's why the Nakuru people, they're all crying everywhere about their pending bills, the payments. I know you, the Star has said, I commended you that you're paying the pending bills, but there's a lot of outcry, and this can prove having a pending bill of 6.4 billion.
So this is the danger of speaking jargon rather than speaking to the public, because Governor, the report that we have here from your opening balances, it indicates that prior year you did very well.
Yes.
Prior year you did very well. You closed at 1.4 and you had nothing under 1 year. So the concern is why the subsequent year it jumped by 5 billion. And I think that's the explanation that needs to come out so that the people of Nakuru do not come to a conclusion that you are not paying. So if it's an accounting reason, break it down to a language that people can understand.
Thank you, Chair, and I'll turn it over to Martha, who will give us it's an accounting reason that needs to be broken down into language we can understand. But for the record, when I came into office, unlike what the Nakuru Senator is saying, it was not 800 million, but it was 2.1 billion of eligible debt, a pending bill, and 2.5 billion ineligible. But over time, after we set up the committee, most of that moved up to be eligible, because maybe they were missing things here and there. But anyhow, let me turn it over to Martha.
Again, for answered purposes, reintroduce yourself.
Honorable Chair, my name is Martha Mateta. I'm in charge of debt management. Now, I'm going to explain the spike of 500 billion. When we were closing the financial year...
is it 500 billion?
5 billion, I'm sorry.
Okay.
When we closed the financial year, 24-25, as at 30th June 2025, most of these bills, rather most of this expenditure had not been cleared for payment by the IFMI system. And so when we crossed over to Q1 and Q2 of financial year 25-26, these payments were cleared. Most of them were not ideally pending bills. They were just trade payables that were covered in now the ended financial year. By 31st May of 2026, the trade payables stood at 2.5 billion. So, Honorable Chair, we are really working on paying the pending bills. The rise to 6.4 was not ideally pending bills. It was trade payables brought about by the transition to accrual. Thank you.
So how much of that stock related to staff? I think that question has been asked repeatedly.
237 million.
That's within 1 year?
Not within 1 year.
Or in total?
Yeah, in total. And out of that... 237 million.
How much of that is statutory remittances, pensions?
208.
So 208 million relates to statutory deductions?
Yes, and out of that, we've processed around 68 million for payment.
I would have thought that statutory deductions are done on a monthly basis as salaries are requisitioned. What would be the reason for having about 100+ million on outstanding statutory deductions for staff?
You see, when we were requested to declare everything, including the old obligations, we had to declare this 208, which was coming from the defunct local authority.
How much was coming from the defunct local authority?
208 million.
Were those pension obligations or the pay as you earn and other tax-related...
Pension obligations.
So maybe just for the record, because you used 31st May as a benchmark, where you said your trade payables is 2.5 billion. As at 31st May, what is your total employee payables?
It's still 237 million because the payments have not been cleared.
And what is
but there is a 58. There is a 58.
What is the age of the 237 million? Is it over 3 years?
No, it's between 2 to 3 years and 1 to 2 years, Chair.
Then it cannot relate to defunct authorities, because if it was for defunct authorities, it would be greater than 3 years.
But that is when it was introduced into the books.
It was not recognized as a liability previously?
It wasn't recognized.
Okay. Auditor General, what's your take on that?
Chair, when you look at note 32, what she refers to the defunct local authority, they have indicated over 3 years. Those ones they are verifying. So I think they are correct, because we are moving from the pending bills to now accrual. And with the new adoption, they were told just to put the figures pending verification. So maybe we can give them allowance as we adopt the accrual that allows them to verify and confirm the actual balances so that the books can be properly stated. Thank you, Chair.
Now, on this, do you owe any gratuities to staff who have served the county government of Nakuru previously? Because those would form part of that 237 million.
No.
Is that a statement of fact, or is something that you need to examine?
Chair, it should be a statement of fact, because my CEC has
So then
confirmed.
what is the makeup of the 237 million? What are the items?
208 in staff pension, and then 29,455,937 in staff allowances and claims.
Senator Maruma?
Yeah, but Chair, still, I don't understand the auditor. Please just make it clear that there are some bills which are historical in nature that were previously ignored and were brought back just last year. How is that? Where were they? I'm not an accountant myself, I'm a farmer. Where were they previously?
Auditor?
Okay, Honorable Senator, they were not just brought from anywhere, but in our previous cash basis, they were doing disclosure. They were not reporting them as under the financial statement items. And that's why the road to accrual adoption is giving a window of 3 years under IPSAS 33, and they were allowed to bring in what they had reported. So we are using that annexure that was in 2023-2024 that was reported as a disclosure appendix. So we are just taking them, the ones that have not been paid, but their standard allows them now to bring the balances which are not accurate pending verification. Same to the case of assets, where we write historical, pending now adoption of balances, and now instituting the depreciation and amortization.
No, Auditor, we spent almost 1 hour with Wajir, who had come up with 1.4 billion as trade payables out of the blues. And we spent a lot of time on it. What you're saying is that they were bringing forward, previously it was a disclosure, isn't it? But if they had disclosed 200 million, you'd expect it is the 200 million that they would bring to their financial statements. Would it change in between?
Yes, Chair, it will change, but if we go to note 32...
Under what circumstance would it change?
It can only change when they have disclosed the analysis, the age analysis. Is it within the first year? Is it the second year or the third? If they bring the third, then it will be wrong, because we have the financial statements which were certified.
No, if they said globally, our trade payables in the year under cash accounting was 200 million, and now we have moved to accrual accounting. Shouldn't we see the 200 million for those years as was disclosed in the previous years?
Correct, Chair. They should bring the 200 that was disclosed in the previous year that was certified.
I think that's what Senator Maruma, that now clarifies it. So it reverses the earlier assertion that this 237 could just come up if it had not been disclosed in prior years. I think that's what I heard the entity say, that this 237 was not there, but it was brought in as a result of accrual.
Chair, maybe just to check again the analysis, I think maybe because of the figures, the analysis 1 to 2, it means the previous years. When you add 523 million, you add to 273, and you add to 681, goes to 1.4 that we have indicated that were previously reported, which are still
that's what your
outstanding.
opening statement.
That is now the opening.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So I think one of the things that the entity also didn't do is that other entities usually have a separate analysis and aging of staff payables. That is what is missing, and that's why we are fishing in the dark. So we are not able to tell whether this 237 was just plucked from the air or it had been carried forward from prior periods.
Yeah, and just as an observation, as we are aging, we cannot age the way we have aged. Because when we say 1 to 2 years, 523 million, and then 2 to 3 years, 273 million, you discover that we have 2 and 2 down here. We cannot age like that. We can't do that. It has to be 1 to 2 years, then maybe 3 to 4 years. Otherwise, there cannot be an overlap of 2 and 2. In my previous years, I used to do mathematics. So this one we can't do that.
Okay, Senator Cherarke, so that we...
Chair, maybe mine, Governor, you said something about verification of the pending bill. Was there a report on both legible and illegible? And my second, was it challenged in another forum, or all the people who brought forward their claim has been settled? And therefore, in conclusion of this, over 3 years, how many percent, or if you have numbers, I saw CEO of Finance, is here Katu or somebody, how much has been offset on the legible part? That will be my 3 questions. Thank you, Chair. Yield back the mic.
Governor?
Sorry, Chair. For Senator Cherarke's question, we do have what's called the pending bill committee. And what they do is sit and go through those pending bills, because some of them did not have all the requirements to be paid. So over time, people do submit what was missing or what was lacking, and it goes through the process, either becoming eligible or stays ineligible. However, I do have the
Governor,
CC.
is it continuous? Do you
Yes,
verify?
yes, even now.
That's dangerous.
It's continuous.
So if I go and go to River Road and manufacture a voucher, how will you know? If I know I'm missing, for example, if there is a sub-county engineer report for a road that was done during the previous administration, maybe tarmac has been washed, the culverts are not there, and I go and manufacture, how do you ensure that you don't lose such? Because I know you have an obligation to protect the resources. So take us through, because over 3 years, some of these projects are over. How do you seal that? I thought it was time bound.
I'll turn it over to the CEC for Finance. But in that committee, and he'll explain, I think you said you want an explanation of how the process works. It has the audit team in it, it has the procurement people, the accountants and technical people, so that they are able to maybe verify what your concern is right now. But I'll have the CEC answer that.
Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. The auditor committee comprises of members of the county team, and they have a secretariat that draws membership from the audit team, procurement department, accountants, and the technical team for those projects that require technical knowledge. So the first step is whoever who has a a bill that requires to be settled goes to the secretariat, through the committee, goes to the secretariat. They look at the nitty-gritties of the payments and whether the work was done or not, the verification. Then now it goes to the committee for now the final verification. Then now that bill moves from ineligible to eligible.
Chair, my only concern, if you hear my worry, and Governor, I thought, you know, my only concern, why is it not time-bound? Why are you continuously verifying? That is my only concern, because you have seen your colleagues, Governor, especially the inherited ones. When you are not there, you are with us as the whip, although you are removed by your friend, you survived, you became the governor.
Order. Let's stick to the to the report. I know it is ugali o'clock, but let's.
But where I come from, Chair, what is important is not ugali, it is mursik. So, Governor, my only concern is on these 3 years, Chair, and I hope the committee chair through you is noting, because if we have, Governor, the over 3 years, why didn't you create a time bound of maybe 30 days to verify? Because my worry, Governor, you know, there are people who are crafty, and I'm not saying they're in Nakuru. My worry is they can infiltrate and go and take advantage. If they come to CC, my brother, the CC of Finance, they appear before the committee, they are told there is no voucher of supply of soda. They run at Nakuru Mart supermarket and manufacture a receipt and backdate it and then bring it. Then you include him in legible. Don't you find it is very dangerous? You can pay fake pending bills.
Yeah, I want to pick the mind of Senator Charad.
Yes, please, and return it when you are done with it.
Can be extremely dangerous if it is for maybe construction. Maybe a building is constructed, it's there, classroom is there. You can reconstruct and get maybe the vouchers around there and pay. But for recurrent, over 3 years, maybe a receipt that is not there now, it's provided, and then you pay. You might end up paying a lot of fictitious pending recurrent payables. That is my problem also.
Okay.
So, Chair, let me write also on that Cheragei's mind. We will return it. Governor Senator Susan, you know, this verification is not just on documentation. It's also on physical verification, you know, sideways and all that. And I think what Cheragei is saying really makes a lot of sense. That, take an example of a road, even graveling, you know, a road. The documentation is there, but there is doubt as to whether actually that work was done. 4 years, 3 years down the line, if you are to go and verify on the ground, what are you going to verify? Because, I mean, you have had 5 rain seasons that have washed that road 3 times. It has been done and redone, but as you're telling me, you know, we are not sure whether you did this project, although your documents are okay. How do you go about that?
Okay, Governor, maybe just the process and policy, and then we come back to the numbers.
Thank you, Chair. I'll turn it over to the CC Finance.
Thank you, Chair. For verification, we still need the department to own the pending bill. The committee that's, let's say the interdepartmental committee sits as the last resort, because now the accounting officer should first of all own that bill from the department before now it comes to now the committee for verification. So
members, we might be involved in a hypothetical conversation in the absence of even a written document on their policy and procedure. Perhaps that's what we need to demand. What do you have, a policy document? Do you have some procedure guidelines, or it's just verbal? I'm sure that whoever has been given that responsibility, and I think for the first time I've had a county with what did the lady introduce herself as? Director of
Resource mobilization.
Director of Debt.
Director of Debt.
Debt management. Which I think is something worth thinking about, because a lot of these counties, debt management is strewn all over the place. So people are involved in manufacturing invoices and LSOs, and you can never get a proper picture on the debt of a county. So if we have a position like that, I believe there must be some guidelines or procedures you have crafted.
Yes.
That can be tabled to assure the members that whatever you're doing is foolproof.
Yes, Chair, we have guidelines.
Can we then ask the Auditor General just to look at those guidelines and make sure that the risk that is being raised by members of taking too long to verify is not a real risk that will occasion financial loss in Nakuru? So that we don't deal with the hypothetical, we deal with an actual policy position. And then we come back to the numbers and then ask the governor, today is the 2nd of July 2026. The financial year was closed 2 days ago. Did you receive all your disbursements 100% by 30th of June?
Exchequer releases were done, yes.
By 30th of June?
Yes.
So we are not going to have this kind of problems in the succeeding financial year?
The easy answer would be we won't, but we will, because the requisitions that will be paid after the year closes. You see, there's so many that went through the system but will not have been paid until probably by the end of July. So there's that one, because the money comes in towards mid-June, right? I think so, mid-June.
No, there's a Governor, there's a 15-day window, which sometimes the Treasury opens even up to 30 days.
Which is true.
There's a window for reconciliation and finalization, and I believe you are right in the middle of that window right now.
Yes, we are. Actually, we are. But for those payments to completely go through the process or the system, it will be probably through July with that window.
Okay, so let's deal with that when it appears in the financial statements.
Sure.
Number two, as we close this, just out of the 5 billion that has been cited, how much of it has been paid? Or what percentage has been paid?
That's what my question earlier.
Exactly. Chair, 3,460,178,592.52 has been paid.
So that means that the remaining 1.4 billion has now rolled over to debt over one year, isn't it?
Oh, sorry.
So the remaining 1.4 has escalated into 1 year debt.
Yes, that will be carried forward, and I believe that will be probably be paying.
Okay. Thirdly,
and even right now, sorry, Chair, to interrupt again, even as we speak, a lot of that is being paid because it was processed before the June 30th.
Thirdly, of the 1.47 billion cited, and that's in the report of the Auditor General, to be older than 1 year, what percentage remains outstanding? Or how much of that has been settled?
Sorry, Chair, if you can repeat the question.
Of the 1.47 billion that the Auditor General cited as being over 1 year in these financial statements, how much of that has been settled? There was
around 200, 237, 200, about 230 million.
So your debt is growing faster than your repayments?
No. Can you answer?
Yeah, this is the records we have up to 31st of May. We do not have the records for what is at requisition level at the controller of budget.
Okay, so we can get the full picture in in the substantive audit.
Yes.
Okay. Now this also brings to question your fiscal responsibility index. So, auditor, you need to now help us. If almost 1 billion was not accounted for in the year under review. Do we have a correct picture of compensation of employees for the year? Because, you know, you cited it, it's a substantive finding, where you're saying that I think it's under lawfulness, non-compliance with fiscal responsibility principle on wage bill. With all these accounting stories we are hearing, what is the true cost of compensation of employees for that year?
Thank you, Chair. The true cost of employee cost was 6,590,685,095.
But we are told almost 900 million relating to that period were paid, are sitting here in this pending, in these trade payables, staff payables.
Thank you, Chair. When we go to note 32, the trade payables are also having other segments, whereby we have employee payable compensation, which is 554,158,051, which indicates that this is the salary that was processed at the end of the year, at the end of the month.
That was not processed.
Yes.
That was not processed.
Sure, thank you.
So the true cost perhaps should take the 554, add the 312, isn't it? The 312 of employee payables, staff payables.
Yes, Chair, but the compensation also involves other parties. There is also payee. So when the reporting template is presented as this, we may not get the small nitty-gritty explanation. If we go that way, I think we maybe get lost.
So is Nakuru at 42% in terms of fiscal responsibility? Remember the PBO, PBO was disputing that percentage.
Yes, Chair. When you look at the revenue they have reported, it is 15,593,236,618. And when you compare the employee cost is 6,590,685,950. So when you get the percentage is 42. It's above the threshold that is recommended at 35%.
But auditor, also under budgetary control and performance, you have reported that the statement of comparison of budget and actual amounts reflects total receipts, budget and actual on a comparable basis of 23.9 billion and 19.5 billion respectively. So shouldn't the revenue be 19.5 billion as reported on your emphasis of matter? Why is there disconnect between the two figures, the 19.5 and
which page is that?
the 15.5? Emphasis of matter in the original certificate is on page 5, and the analysis on fiscal responsibility is on page 7.
Okay.
I don't know whether Salat is in the room, PBO. I know we had raised it in our briefing, so we need to settle this matter. So what is it? Okay, just proceed. What is the revenue that we need to use as a base for computing fiscal responsibility?
The revenue should be what they have collected in totality, including what they have received from Exchequer.
And that should be what amount?
We calculated based on what they reported in their statement, which was 15 billion.
And where is this 19.5 billion coming from?
The
19.534 billion.
This is the total budget, including, you see the performance on this was excluding the ROR. So when we add the ROR, which was 4 point, was it 4.3? Yeah, we add.
The base should be the total revenues, not just equitable share.
Okay, I think that one we need to have a correction on that, yeah.
I don't know whether, Governor, what you are saying makes sense?
Yes.
So what was the actual, according to you? You've reported 15 in the statements, and the auditor has seen 19.5.
19, right? Yeah.
So auditor,
Because of own source revenue and all that.
you understand where you're coming from?
Chair, I've understood.
So you need to recompute it,
Sure.
look at it so that we get a better picture of the state of affairs in Nakuru.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. We have taken note of that.
Senator,
I think it's also very important for the Nakuru people to know Because I can see here the 7.4 billion that was not absorbed in the county. You've seen there?
The under absorption of
resulting here to an under absorption of 7.4 billion, which is at about 38%.
Of the actual receipts?
Yeah. So where did that money go? Was it returned to the National Treasury?
Okay. Again, when these matters are in the audit report, the public can interpret it in any way they deem fit.
So maybe it's good, the Auditor General, you tell us, was it returned to the National Treasury or what happened?
Okay.
Is that the auditor's question or the county's question?
Thank you, Chair. The Honorable Senator is asking the explanation in the budget where we are comparing what was actual receipt and what was spent. And Honorable Senator, you can follow the discussion that we had. At the close of the financial year, there are some payments that do not go through as they have been submitted to the controller of budget pending approval, and that's why the Treasury gives the window between 1st July to around 15th for the clearance. Once the window is closed, we normally have exchequer return, which forms part of our analysis.
So to go into record, does it mean that 7.4 billion of the allocated money to the Nakuru County government was returned to the Treasury?
Thank you, Honorable Senator. It was not returned because the financial statement is as at 30th June, like yesterday, part 1. But the expenditure is allowed for reconciliation until around mid-July, whereby now we exhaust all the exchequer releases that were.
But do you want to tell me in 15 days, a county government can consume 7.4 billion?
Honorable Senator, it's possible because it depends. If it's a contract, they have a contract, a construction
Auditor
going
General,
on.
you are taking on a role that's not yours.
Mm.
It is the job of the executive to explain this. I think yours is to provide assurance, not to explain it.
Chair,
And Chair, for the benefit of all of us.
Yeah.
For the benefit of all of us, Chair.
Senator Wambua.
The benefit of...
Because as the Auditor General, this is our report. According to it is our report.
So I think you should stop at an assurance that whatever you have reported there is lawful and prudent. As to the nitty-gritties, it is an entity to address themselves to. Senator Wambua?
Yeah, so I would just want to hear from the auditor that the window that is open for 15 days, any transaction that takes place in between 1st of July to 15th of July can procedurally be captured in the accounting documents up to 30th of June. Is that what you're saying? You're saying that yes, the year closes on 30th, but there is disbursement that comes after 30th or just before 30th. So the monies, the funds received, it can be consumed in the county and then entered into the books as having been expended up to June 30th. Is that the position?
Auditor?
Okay, thank you, Honorable Senator. We are not saying that we are opening the books. The entities normally do requisition and they have already procured what they want to pay. The window is only for managing the money that has been disbursed on 30th June, maybe late hours, but now they are just executing depending on the approval of the control of budget. But they are not opening new requisitions or payments.
Now, National Treasury, did you issue a fresh circular on year-end closure in view of the migration to accrual? You had some guidelines during the cash accounting period. Did you come up with new guidelines for accrual accounting? Because it is causing confusion. Because I can see Nakuru is treating matters slightly differently from other counties.
Chair, even currently they have a new circular for this financial year, giving them up to 10th of July to execute pay the money and they use the money for the budget for the previous year. Let me talk of the previous year because you are in another new year. So they don't touch the budget of the current year. They are still using the budget for the other year with the money that they were given by 28, I think we gave them on 25th June, so that it spent the budget for the last financial year. So the issue of not having the money in the system, it shouldn't be in the system, and they shouldn't report. I know they couldn't be having the issue of saying the timeline, but the amount is still used, it's for the previous year. And the circular was given even in the current year.
My problem is, why is it recognized as an under-absorption? Why can't it be recognized as absorption for the previous year, so that you don't have this under-absorption?
Is that for the treasury?
Chair, let me report on under-absorption. If Nakuru never collected enough revenue to cater for their budget, the under-absorption is compared with the budget and the money that you have used. So if they never collected enough, even if Treasury gave them the money of their share to the fullness, they were still under-absorbed because they didn't have the budget to spend. They didn't have the money to spend the full budget.
Okay, members, this is...
Just a quick statement there so that we don't leave things not properly tied up. Because you, like Chair, you very well put it. You'll have the population thinking otherwise. One, it is very good to be very clear that no money goes back to the National Treasury. Number two, we are able to absorb those large amounts in that last time period because we put our systems in place, because we always know, and I mean this for many counties, that a lot of money will come in at the last minute and we want to make sure we have made our payments as much as possible. So we don't touch anything on the new budget, but we try to pay as much as we can for the closing budget, so to speak. So a lot of people, a lot of contractors, a lot of whatever, they bring in their certificates towards the end, and we quickly make sure that we try and pay. So I can even tell you, Chair, that in the last 2 weeks, maybe 1 week to 2 weeks, Nakuru County has processed over 3 billion shillings in payments. So it is possible, it's done, and no money goes back to National Treasury. So no money is lost. I mean, Nakuru people do not miss any services, as there was an implication there, because money goes back to National Treasury. There is no such thing.
I think it's a constitutional and a statutory declaration that monies once appropriated to counties shall not return back to the consolidated fund. So that's a constitutional position. I think as we have said, is that the face of the report might give a different impression if it is not dealt with. So it means that this last financial year, all counties received their monies by the 25th of June. That is a fact. So that should be the scorecard for the experts at the National Treasury.
We all, Chair, we all received about 25th of June.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a county which received 4.5 billion, I think on 2nd of July. That was Kilifi, I think so. They received almost 4 billion, which they had to spend in a span of 10 days. Can we proceed, because we are at the time that we usually go to the House, when the House is sitting. I might want to apply similar rules, but with a slight alteration, that if we could spend another 30 minutes to deal with whatever we need to deal with, and whatever remains, we ask the Auditor General to give a report in the substantive audit. Honourable members, is that agreeable?
I don't know
Okay.
what addition Mitch wanted to give us. Maybe it could be useful.
Mitch, you had a legal perspective? Or it was,
okay.
Okay, fine. Now, members, can we
just transition from that point so that it doesn't go on record that the release of funds to counties on 25th of June is a good thing?
Project.
I'm saying that we should create
no. For the record, it's not a good thing.
It's
because
not.
you have a cash disbursement schedule.
Yes.
It's just a progressive improvement.
Yes. Well, I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know. So that Kenyatta does not leave this place saying, you know, we have done very well, and the Treasury is doing extremely badly.
Because also, Chair, you have to appreciate when the OAG is doing, is also about assessment of budgetary performance.
Yeah.
So it must be captured based on that. And since you want to be the governor, those are timelines that you must be very careful.
Yeah, and I want the treasury, when I am governor, I want the treasury to follow the disbursement schedule, because it's not a
correct.
It's not a suggestion.
Because Chair,
it's a
under
law.
Article 219, when money is appropriated by Parliament, it should be released in a due delay. And you remember in the last session, we were with the Senator Governor and Dulo and Wambu, of course, and Maruma. We had to sanction CS Ukuri Atani over the same issue of not following the cash disbursement. So the Constitution applies. I wish these are the Constitution Council of Governors should be discussing, as opposed to gossip. So it would have moved very reliably on policy issues, Chair. I think that is what
I think I'm in agreement that the cash disbursement schedule is not a suggestion, it is law. Yes. We usually spend time, we usually vote for it, and vote by delegation, isn't it? Yes. We vote by delegation, it is not a suggestion. So that is, those are some of the things that we need to partner as the governors and the Senate to ensure that they are observed. Getting your money on 25th of June, while it looks like an improvement, is still not good enough. It's still not good enough. You need to get your money early so that you are able to do proper cash flow planning and management.
Chair, help us also with grants. We get grants the last day of the financial year, the last day.
Okay, if you also show the willingness to account, we will be also robust in pushing for expenditure and release of grants.
That's why we are here, Chair.
Okay, so let's proceed.
Yeah, and I think also I want to add on is that the issue of equity, not equitable, there is this fund, Article 204. You know, we have had a problem with the equalization fund. Is also still a bigger problem that we still need to have a conversation that we can going forward. And I agree, the more they account for it, the faster we do our job.
We push, yeah.
We push for more.
Because again, if you look at equalization fund, sometimes you find that the National Treasury reduces it at will.
And you remember when she was our whip, she was very ferocious in demanding for accountability with the Governor Lee then, so she understands where we're coming from.
Okay, fine. So now let's go back to the audit report. There are HR issues there, which we'll ask the Auditor General to keep an eye on, particularly the real fiscal responsibility index, the 1/3 basic salary rule, the payment of salaries outside IPPD, and this one is a grave matter because the Cabinet this week asked the DCI to look into payroll fraud across all government entities. I don't know whether it applied to county governments, but I think that is something that needs to go to county governments as well. Payroll fraud is a serious matter in government at all levels. I'm not sure what explanation was given for the 1,457 employees who are paid outside IPPD system. Governor, would you give just a quick, yes?
Sorry, so at the time we didn't have everybody in the system, but we since have. We now have everybody in the system and nobody's paid outside of IPPD. At time it took a long time to even get numbers, but now, what are they called, numbers? Payroll numbers. Yeah, but now we are okay and everybody, 100% of our employees in Nakuru County are paid within the system.
Okay, so as you establish the true cost of compensation of employees, please have a look at that. Mark?
Chair, I just want to bring to your attention the fact that the office has conducted a special audit on payrolls for the 47 counties, and those reports have been transmitted to the Senate for your consideration. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Senator Chirake?
I don't know how Governor will take this. It is going to be very controversial.
Please address the Chair.
The Chair,
yeah, it is the Chair to weigh
to be very
the weight of the matters.
Chair, and I have tremendous respect for Governor. She knows that. Chair, I notice, you know, they say Nakuru ni Kenya ndogo. And we appreciate that. But I notice over 80% of the delegation comes from one ethnic community. Yet we know Nakuru has the highest number of other ethnic composition as per the NCIC Act of not ethnicizing or dominizing a county. So, Governor, is this a reflection of the entire workforce? What can you give us to give that assurance? Because I know there are a number, I don't want to name specific tribes, but how is it? Because, Chair, this 42% of payment that you do in terms of labor, which assurance are you giving us? Because I know that has been a teething problem for some time, especially in your county because of its unique nature of composition, which is not homogeneous, where everybody would want to have a share, to be a CEC, a CEO, to work with the county government.
Okay, that's the reason why I wanted the matter be processed through the chair. When we started the meeting, we had introductions, and the directions I gave was name and designation, not ethnicity. It is therefore not possible to establish the ethnic composition of the delegation. We therefore proceed back to the audit report.
Chair, unless you are new in Jerusalem, I don't know.
I don't know. By looking at you, I might think you are South Sudanese.
Chair, but the fact that I am introduced my name, you know who I am or where I come from. My
Order.
Maybe the governor can choose either to answer or not.
No, I do not want us to get into that conversation.
We won't.
I do not want us to go into that conversation.
Well, the senator can answer.
That conversation
She is ready.
can be dealt with. Senator Tabitha, that conversation can be dealt with in the committee chaired by Senator Chute. Let's come back to the numbers.
Sorry, Chair, just because it was mentioned, and that's such a serious
Is it the
position.
question that I have disallowed?
No, I was just going to say that we have appeared previously before the committee chaired by Senator Chute, and Nakuru has, the last 2 years, been ranked as #1 in the most ethnically diverse county. So our numbers speak for themselves, and it is a reflection of of small Kenya and what the county looks like.
Okay, so we shall make reference to your submissions before Senator Chute's committee. Let's deal with avoidable costs incurred on court decrees. Let's deal with money. Auditor General. Avoidable costs incurred on court decrees. I think that's on page 7 on the certificate.
Yeah, that's number 5 under lawfulness.
Auditor, you could read your finding if you're already there.
Sorry, page 528.
Okay, thank you, Chair. This is number 5 under lawfulness, avoidable cost incurred on court decrees. Review of records provided for audit review revealed that there are several legal cases filed in court against the county executives were decreed in the interest of the claimants. Further, the county was instructed by the court to pay a total of Kenya shillings 180,736,467 in the respect to court decree, out of which an amount of 66,472,548 has been paid, leaving a balance of 112,721,131 outstanding. In the circumstances, the public lost an amount of 180,736,467 arising from court rulings in favor of claimants due to poor management of decisions. Thank you, Chair.
Governor?
Thank you, Chair. Oh, sorry, page 528.
Yes, you may proceed.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Honorable Chair, the management submits that the court decrees arose from legal cases instituted against the county government through various historical obligations, contract disputes, and compensation claims that originated in previous financial years, some dating back to the defunct local authorities. Many of these matters arose over the years. The management had little control over circumstances leading to the litigation. The decrees were issued following court determinations, and the county is legally obligated to settle the amounts. The management has taken the following steps. 1, issuance of advisory services to the departments, entities to comply with the relevant laws. Appendix 5.1, the advisory. 2, recruitment of additional internal legal counsel and legal clerks to represent the county and support the department on compliance. Appendix 5.2, internal recruitment. 3, continued encouragement of departments to undertake alternative dispute resolution, ADR, alternative justice systems, AJS, and that's Appendix 5.3, adoption of alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. And 4, offering departmental sensitization and capacity building, which is Appendix 5.4, training letter.
Auditor General, could you just reread your last paragraph under that finding?
Thank you, Chair. The last paragraph. Further, the court was in the court.
Oh, is that the last paragraph?
In the circumstances, the public lost an amount of 180,736,467 arising from court rulings in favor of claimants due to poor management decisions.
Honorable members, how is there any way we can vacate that conclusion? Because what the governor has explained is mitigation. And if you go further to the report, you've got a contingent liabilities register, page 56, I think that's note 44, that totals to 746 million. Is there any conclusion we can arrive at that would contradict what the Auditor General has said, that this is a loss as a result of poor management decisions? Because the reason for this exercise is to either agree with the Auditor General or take the explanation from the entity and say that, okay, we are convinced that this was value for money. Do you see value for money here? And more so when you look at the other schedule that totals to 746 million of pending litigation. Senator Chirake.
Chair, maybe I wish the governor would have segregated, because we would have known these historical obligations. Does it include during post devolution or pre-devolution? Yeah, I wish you would have segregated. And then my only concern, Chair, I don't know if this 180, what the OAG has determined, we cannot forget. That's my position. Number 2, the only part that like compensation, wrongful dismissals and contract disputes, these are obligations of the county executive. But I will go back to where, Governor, you remember you were a member of JLAC then, and we did pass the county attorney. And you are very regular and committed member now. We passed the County Attorney Act. My only concern, Governor, how does your county legal department look like? And I remember your submissions on the floor through the chair. Your argument was that the county attorney must sit in the cabinet of the county executive so that such issues can be resolved at the highest level possible. How does the county legal department look like? You know, so that this 180 million that we are talking that was poor management decisions, if we had a vibrant and a functional county legal department, some of these things you are outsourcing, including, and we are not saying you should not give business to our colleagues, like outsourcing legal services, should have been resolved then. So my question is, Chair, apart from that, we cannot forget on 180 million, what as a governor, because we are looking at implementation status, how have you crafted your legal department to ensure some of these things can be resolved and county does not lose money? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, and I hope the county attorney is in the room, because that office is created specifically in statute, and it is their professional responsibility to respond to some of these things. Senator Wambua.
Chair, it's a follow-up on what Senator Regay is asking, and I remember very well, Chair, you also participated in that debate. Yes. I remember very well, and This actually, Chair, Cherage is reminding me that he was the chair of JLAC, but he was there very briefly. He was kicked out.
Order. He was kicked out by Kihika's friend,
Senator Cherage chaired JLAC long enough.
Governor's friend.
Order, members.
Yes.
It is on record that Senator Cherage chaired JLAC long enough to take the committee to Detroit, to Boeing.
I was chair. I was one of the best chairs.
I was also a member of the same committee, and I confirm that.
Were you in the trip that went to Detroit to investigate the Ethiopian crash?
We never, in fact, if you check my records, I was the best chair for 3 years when in fact, I defeated
that's okay.
You were number 2.
That's okay,
I didn't manage to take my delegation to Detroit. I don't know whether the governor was part of that delegation.
The way she's laughing, she must have taken that flight to Detroit. Okay.
Senator Wabua.
So, Chair, what am I saying? What I'm saying is, if you remember those conversations on the floor, it was because of exactly this. And we were saying, counties are spending billions of shillings on legal fees, and yet they could engage their own in-house lawyers council to handle some of the issues, especially the most serious issues affecting the counties. So my question to Governor Senator Susan, do you think that that office still makes sense? I mean, should counties continue to have the office of the county attorney and continue to incur this level of bills for senior council for council? I'm saying senior council because you said one of our colleagues is
again. You will not go that direction.
I will not. It's okay. I withdraw. I withdraw. But let me just ask whether.
But it's a senior council.
That's okay, Chair. It's okay. Let's just remain focused on this one. Because you see, the Chair, you just said that there is a pending payment of over 700 million.
A contingent liability listing of 700 million. Yeah.
There is a value for money query of 180 million Kenya shillings. We have a functional office of the county attorney in the Nakuru city county government. Is it still relevant? Do we need this office?
Okay, Chair.
Senator Maruma.
So, Mr. Chair, the public lost money, 180 million, because of poor management decisions. To me, it does not matter whether the defense in the courts is made by the attorney, county attorney, or an external attorney, because still, yes, external lawyer. To me, these wrong decisions, Chair, the people who made who occasioned those wrong decisions, would they just go like that? How would we mitigate? So that then we have a deterrent for those people who are making those wrong decisions. Yes.
Persuade Chair through you and persuade my colleague, my neighbor from Taita Taveta, to consider withdrawing that statement, that it doesn't matter whether it was internal or external.
I was just adding a limb.
Because if those councils that defended these matters were internal, they would not be drawing this amount of money. The money is lost on account of a wrong decision, then defended by external counsel, who then are paid this amount of money. If they were in the payroll, then this money.
In fact, if you had a functional county attorney office and establishment, they will provide advisories before you undertake administrative action that would lead to litigation. I think they would reduce the instances of wrong decisions, illegal decisions. Senator Tabitha, then you allow the governor to respond.
Yeah. Also, maybe to add on that, and even what the chair has said, if we had that functional attorney office, we could not be incurring these losses, because this is not the first time the Nakuru County is incurring losses when it's come to legal whatever. I think last one, I think it was about 37 million. Then again, we had a case of 22 million that no had supporting documents, legal payments. So I think we need that office, or even to make it as a law. When it comes to the control of budget, it should make a law for a county to continue and to be able to function. It must have that functional Anthony.
Point of information,
office.
my leader.
Yes.
Deputy Majority Leader, it is already a law we passed.
It's already passed.
So it must be complied with the county.
And complied.
Yes.
So I think our county government should comply to that.
Correct.
So that our people of Nakuru doesn't continue making losses of money that could be have control because of bad management.
Now, in the spirit of what we have always done, holding professionals to account, particularly those members of regulated professions like advocates, accountants, procurement, HR, is a county attorney in the room, Governor?
We have the county solicitor.
Yes, but...
we do have can I respond?
No. We're just trying to establish the structure. Do you have the county attorney in your delegation?
Yes, not here. We have the county solicitor, who is the accounting officer for the county attorney's office.
Yeah, but in terms of hierarchy, it's the county attorney
yes.
who sits in the cabinet.
Yes, he sits.
So I think next time when we have legal matters in the audit reports, the county attorney should be here as the person who takes ultimate responsibility.
Sure.
In terms of structures, you've got the attorney, you've got the solicitor, and how many people within the legal team?
I have about 10 in the county attorney's office, 6 attorneys, and 4 legal clerks. Yeah?
Do you need the microphone?
So right here.
Just now that the solicitor is here, just describe for us your establishment and how you are giving effect to the provisions of the County Attorneys Act. Please just stand so that you are visible.
All right, thank you very much, Chair. Currently, we have a staff establishment of 6 plus 4, so a total of 10 advocates. 6 were hired less than a month ago. So we have the county attorney, county solicitor, and then myself, and then we have 2 legal directors, and the others are county legal counsel.
Okay, so the 6 were hired just a few months ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, actually.
So this impact we can assess maybe over the next 1 year.
Yes,
to see whether they are adding value.
I believe even within 6 months we should be able to see their their impact within the county.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, Chair. The structure again? You said it was the.
So we have the county attorney who's the head of that office. Then we have the county solicitor who's the accounting officer. Then we have the county legal counsel. So after me, we have 2 legal directors, and then the county legal counsel.
And that's what I wanted to hear.
Yes.
You have 2 directors.
Yes.
Legal directors, 2 of them.
Yes.
And then?
And then now we have county legal counsel, who are the legal officers.
How many?
We have 6. Yes.
6.
Okay, so these ones were recently appointed, so it's something that the OAG can keep in view. Are you done with the description of how you are giving effect to the County Attorneys Act? Because there's also the issue of outsourcing, which I know members are going to ask. Mitch, what was the decision of the court when it came to county governments outsourcing legal services?
There were stringent provisions that were provided before a county government can procure any legal services, including being given permission by the county attorney. And under the Act, it's county attorney, but under the court matter, it made reference to the permission of the Attorney General.
So Solicitor, this 180 million that the Auditor General says is a public loss, were these matters defended by in-house counsel or they were outsourced?
There were various matters. Some of them were outsourced, some of them by internal legal counsel. But all of these are legal legacy matters from before pre-devolution. Yes.
So one of the things the auditor can help us with in this audit also is that the 700 million contingent liabilities, we need to know whether they're being defended in-house or they're being defended by external service providers, so that we can test whether the county is in compliance with the directives of the High Court. Secondly, it would have been very useful for us to see a breakdown of this 180 million, because 180 million could be 2 cases, or they could be 20 cases. And sometimes when you get the detail, you might find that there's only one advocate on record for all the cases. So could you give us that visibility? Do you have that breakdown now, or it's something you can do in the substantive audit?
Chair, that one we can do in the substantive audit.
Yeah, so disclose to us who the advocates on record are, so that we establish whether the county is in compliance with the law. Okay, any other matter you wanted to raise?
No, that's just that, Chair. But one thing we need to note is that right now we're handling the matters very proactively. Now that we have a very robust legal team, we are barely losing any cases. So I'm sure the Auditor General will confirm the near future audits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honorable.
Chair, because we are digging in on this and trying to unbank and unbundle the issue of poor management decisions. When I look at the contingent liabilities, page 57, there's a case here, E007 of 2024. What you have secured as contingent liability is 206 million. What could that case be about? Is it about, again, a wrong decision? Because we have the county attorney and the solicitor in place in 2024. If we had all of them, who sued the county and on what? Have you seen that, page 57?
That's Naivasha ELC petition E007 of 2024.
Yeah, where if the county loses the case,
with an estimate of
206 million. And that is not small change. What is it about? What was the poor decision about?
Yeah, it's about the access.
Solicitor, I believe you're the one who goes to is actively involved in these matters.
Yeah, in some of them I am. For this, these contingent liabilities, basically how we structure them is when someone comes and sues the county.
Well, that's okay. We have the background. Okay. But what's the matter? What's the matter here?
So that relates to someone who sued the county because he says that we blocked the entire access to the lake. There's a property that we have that he says that has blocked the public's access to the lake. So I think that is the background of the matter.
Okay, so members, really, it's not for us to go into the merits of any matter. For us, it's to ensure that we don't get to the conclusion that the Auditor General has gotten into, that 180 million was loss of public funds due to poor management decisions. And your office, the structure of the county attorney, ideally should offer value by ensuring that we reduce the exposure, we reduce decision-making that is not compliant with the law, because some of them are employment-related matters, where sometimes counties just decide to do things without following the laid-down procedures. So can we ask the Auditor General that in this audit, if there are payments that have been made and you find that it's a loss of public resources, please list the case numbers, list the amounts involved, list the advocates on record, and perhaps even on this contingent liability, let's demand disclosure of the advocates on record to test whether these matters are being defended in-house or they're still being outsourced. Auditor, is that doable?
Chair, it is doable, but to publish it under contingency, we are guided by the template, and maybe we look at the Data Protection Act, if it is allowed that we can also include the details of the advocates, because even when you look at our report, we no longer say which specific contractor was paid and all that in our report, because it's a public document that can be used in a different way, and we can contravene the Data Protection Act.
Which office do you work for again? Which office do you work for?
Office of the Auditor General.
Yes, you are the eye, you are the watchman, you are the person who tells the public whether public resources were used lawfully and prudently. And if they have been used unlawfully and imprudently, you have the power in the Constitution and in the Public Audit Act to name and shame. You even have the power to specify that a specific supplier should be debarred. How do you debar them without mentioning them? So don't be scared. Don't be scared, auditor.
Well guided.
The Constitution and statute gives you that power.
Chair, allow me to add that, auditor, you know, when these lawyers appear for these matters, they appear in public. They don't do it under the table. So I will not be disclosing anything. I mean, they have already disclosed themselves by appearing in public. Secondly, I sat in the ICT committee in the last session when we drafted the data protection law. There is nothing in it that says you cannot disclose people that are receiving public funds. They must be disclosed.
Yeah, there's also access to information. The debt manager, and those who want to be governors, please take cue. You need to have a debt manager. Is debt manager in the room? Because I want to know how much of the debt she's holding relates to legal fees.
1 minute, Chair. She had just stepped out, but she's coming right back.
Okay. Mitch, you wanted to say something on the contribution by the auditor?
It was just to confirm that the lawyer, the party, all of them are public documents in court, so they cannot be, they cannot infringe on the Data Protection Act.
It cannot be classified.
They're public documents.
Correct. So we shall be demanding that, because by demanding this disclosure on advocates on record, it also helps us to deal with instances where you find one advocate running a monopoly on legal matters in counties. And I think the auditor has previously reported in other counties of situations where one advocate is being given briefs on almost every matter that comes, that the county has in courts. It is exactly 3 o'clock. We are remaining with the answer by the debt manager on how much is owed to legal firms, but we are also remaining with a long list of projects. These projects, the Auditor General is going to the ground. And Governor, I just want us to do a very quick run through, because there's a long paragraph on 325 projects with contracts totaling 2.7 billion, which were incomplete or at various stages of completion, as detailed below. Now, just like rapid fire, there were delays in completion of inpatient and outpatient block at Maimayu Level 4 Hospital, Naivasha Sub-County. Under projects, that's page 8 on the certificate. So, Governor, without getting into too many details about the weeks and etc., is Maimayu Level 4 Hospital complete and in use?
It's almost complete. We had to terminate a contract because the contractor was not working, but it should be complete in the next month or so.
Okay,
but
so
it's almost, actually, it's like at 95% complete.
Fine, so it is not 100%. Auditor General, keep this in view. Molo Level 4 Hospital, in complete construction of outpatient block. Again, is this now complete?
Actually, that one is like at 98%. It's just the outside walkways and external works that are being finished up. So it's about 98%.
Can someone walk in, can Cherargei walk in and get an injection of
tetanus,
of procaine?
Yes, he can still get, because there is still the old hospital there. So this is the newer blocks, but it will be, it's actually complete, almost complete. It's at 98.
So this outpatient block, as we speak, there's still some 2-3%.
Yes, outside remaining, being completed.
So again, we keep this in view.
Sure.
There are many stalled projects by the Health Department. Fencing and equipping of Hopewell Dispensary. Estimated cost 5 million. That's in Naivasha. Again, is this complete or not?
Let me check on that one. Huh?
Hopewell Dispensary. Yeah, I believe there was someone from health.
Was a chief officer from Multi Services.
You know what? You're right. I do have, he is here. He is, my chief of staff is here. And
Yeah, because I want us to be done by 15:05. So we have 3 minutes.
Sawa.
Just to say whether it's done or not. If it's done, we confirm. If it's not done, the Auditor General goes to the ground.
Dr. Wainaina.
Fencing and equipping of Hope Well Dispensary.
Thank you, Chair. For that specific project, there was a challenge, a legal challenge in terms of...
Tell us done or not.
It is not done.
At what percentage?
It is at beyond 90, but...
But not done?
Yes.
Auditor General, that matter should not disappear. Design and construction of Chebotoi Dispensary in Kuresoi South.
That was well...
Started in 2017-18. Is it done or not?
It is not done, Chair. There was vandalism, and therefore it's not yet done.
So it is not done. Completion of Engashura Health Center at Kiamaina sublocation in Bahati sub-county?
That one, Chair, is done.
This is done?
Yes, Chair.
Auditor General, do you have visibility on that?
On just a quick question to the CEO. In this in Kuresoi South, is the robbers who vandalized or what happened? Was it complete then it was vandalized?
Chair, this is an old project from the first government that had stalled. And we realized by the time we were planning for its completion, when we went on site to reassess for BQ's collection, we found it vandalized.
Also, you don't know. Okay.
So this is our white elephant in all definition, because it was 2017-2018. There was a succeeding government that didn't complete it, and another succeeding government. Do you plan to complete it, or you have given up on it?
Chair, we plan to complete it.
Is there a budget for it?
In this financial year, yes, there is.
There's a budget that you can demonstrate to the Auditor General?
Yes, there is.
How much?
At 3 million shillings.
3 million. So we should tell the people of Kuresoi that Chebotoi Dispensary, you are going to put 3 million shillings to complete it.
Yes, Chair.
So we shall hold you to account on that, and Auditor General keep that in view. Njoro Level 4 Hospital, outpatient block. Is this complete or not?
It is at around 97% complete. We are waiting the auxiliary works to ensure that the facility is open. That is the walkways, the external works.
Let's go with this definition of completion for hospitals. That I can walk in and get Panadol. I can walk in and get a nurse. I can walk in and get a doctor. I can get service. It's not about the paintwork. That's our perception of completion of a hospital. So again, Njoro Level 4 Hospital, can I walk in and get a nurse and a doctor and medication?
Not at the moment, but in a month or two.
Okay, so we keep that in view.
There is a completion of Engashura Health Center at Kiamaina sublocation Bahati. That was what, 1.8 million?
That one they reported is complete.
It's complete.
Yes, Chairman, it's complete.
Or outpatient department block at Olenguruone Sub-County Hospital?
That one as well, Chair. It is...
There is a story. Okay, not complete.
But Chair, also, these are projects of 2020. Now we are in 2026. How is the cost? They are progressing, but has the cost changed? Are there variations?
Chair, these are multi-year projects, and for the Olenguruone Hospital specifically, we're in the third contract that is meant now to bring it all together. And this was based on availability of the budget. But we have the entire budget, and the works are now at around, the third contract is at around 56% completion.
Is there a success story? Because there are a lot of projects here under health that the Auditor General cited. Is there a sub-county level 4 hospital that you have initiated and concluded? Because
yes, we have a lot of...
This might give an impression that nothing is happening.
No, Chair, that's the wrong perception, and let me correct that. When we came into office, we found all these hospitals and many more that you have not read that had been done and left not complete. And I'm actually talking about running into billions of shillings to complete the hospitals and equip them. So when I came into office, we said that any contractor who has not been working, the contract is cancelled, we re-advertise and get them going. That is where we are. We just this week, today is what, Friday? Thursday, I don't even know. On Tuesday, I went and opened in Elbagon level 4, the maternity. So many of them we are now completing, but we are having to do a lot of work that was left incomplete, and the budget could only go so far. In addition to that, we have now our own level 4 hospitals that we have started from scratch, and by December they will all be complete. So a lot of it has been project management, and I have instilled in this my people that instead of starting 10 hospitals and leaving 10 hospitals undone, you do 2, get value for money, get them working, move to the next one.
Using FIF, is it possible to offer service and work on infrastructure for your health facilities across Nakuru?
Well, most of them we are actually doing that. Like, for example, the Olenguroni one you mentioned, the older facility is still continuing to treat patients and continue with its work. The same with Njoro. As much as there is a new block, the older hospital still continues providing services. In Maimahio, the same thing. In Elbagon, the same thing. So we are still offering services, just not in the new building.
So, members, we can allow the auditor to look at these projects, yes. the deviations in the health sector. Now, in sports, we have a high altitude facility.
Chairman, Chair.
Senator Tabitha.
Yeah. As you put it, if you look at the Auditor General report, that we have 325 projects stalled. I think it shows that in Nakuru there is nothing going on. So as you put it as a challenge, you put a challenge to a governor is to ensure such reports don't come, because this is how the public will take it. Correct. I'm reading from the Auditor General report. Serengei, you are laughing. It is here.
I'm excited that you
Senator,
know.
It is here. So we need to... I don't know where we
I don't know if
but we
she's
need
right,
to ensure the auditor...
I'm excited that she's quoting the Office of the Auditor General report.
Yeah, so that is the reason why.
This is a public document.
And you know I'm a smiling machine whenever I see you, so you don't have to...
Order, Senator Jarge.
325 projects.
Chair, may I respond to that? Because we can't leave it open. Chair, I have Nakuru people watching, and when their statement always begins with Nakuru people, let me respond.
Okay, just...
It says project status, not stalled. Maybe we learn to read.
Just a minute, Governor. Just a minute. Senator Tabitha is referring to the observation of the Auditor General on project implementation status. So it is not something plucked from the air. So I also want you, I'll give you an opportunity to respond, but to be guided that it is not a personal allegation. She's just reading what is in this report.
May I point out the statement, maybe it escaped the person saying that, were incomplete at various stages of completion as detailed below. So it's not that they're just sitting there not being done, and there is nothing there by reading that statement that implies there is no work being done. But if the senator was on the ground in Nakuru versus just talking from where elsewhere, she would know there is work that is happening.
Governor, those are not the senator's allegations. Those are the observations of the Auditor General, which has 4 paragraphs.
Read properly.
Which, order, Governor, which has actually 5 paragraphs breaking down the 325 projects. I have given directions that the Auditor General goes back to the 325, and Auditor General, maybe next time you need to have an appendix listing the ones with serious variations or the ones with serious issues, so that no one is accused of introducing
let the record reflect, because she's saying stalled. These are not stalled. Many of them are still progressing. They are not stalled. That's what I have a problem with.
Chair, can I make...
Or if I need to read the whole statement into the record, then I will.
No, we have the report of the Auditor General before us. Senator Chirarki?
Chair, maybe in the interest of devolution, and so that we dispel, is it possible when we are doing our round of county oversight visit to also include Nakuru, so that we can also see for ourselves on the status on what is happening so that we don't just rely on what is written. I think that is it.
And please include our senator so she can get on the ground.
Have you ever invited her to?
First time I've seen her in 4 years, so that should say.
Senator. But I told you I Naivasha for
Nakuru
prayers.
people are watching.
I'm only in touch. She's never on the ground as far as projects.
Are watching.
They are always watching, my friend.
Governor and members, process your correspondences through the chair. We have done very, very well, and we are not going to lose this meeting at the 11th hour. Even though, as fishermen, we know that the boat capsizes when it's just about to land. So let's do this. I agree with Senator Cherargei's comment, because these are projects that we cannot tick off sitting in Nairobi. There's a training facility in Keringet Ward, high altitude training facility in Keringet Ward. Is it complete or not? High altitude training facility in Keringet Ward, without stories?
Yes, no stories. We have the CEO for sports.
Whether it's complete or not?
Thank you, Chair. The facility is not complete, but we have done the final accounts for the project. We want to return that to...
Fine, it is not complete. Auditor General, keep that in view. So that applies to 12.2 as well, because there's no way the kitchen would be complete if the training facility is not complete, unless food was more important than training of athletes. Where is the officer? 12.2, is that complete? Delayed construction of dormitories, kitchen, dining areas and a shed.
It is 95% complete.
No, we are talking of, and again, as you said, with the health sector, complete means it has been put to use, so there's value for money. So at this point, we don't even give us percentages, just tell us whether it's complete and put to use or not. So, dormitories, kitchen, dining area, and a shed at training center in Keringet, done or not?
Not done.
Mechanical works and borehole drilling at the high altitude training center in Keringet?
100% done.
That is done. But the overall utility of this facility can only be achieved if 12.1 and 12.2 is completed.
Yes.
Nakuru County Treasury Headquarters worth 886 million. Is this complete, Governor?
CEO Finance?
It had an expected
Treasuries.
completion date of 1st December 2022.
It's ongoing, Chair.
So it is not done?
Yes, at 90% now.
Okay, community boreholes, I think that's a different matter. Then there's a lack of value for money from the installed revenue management system. We had, I think this one we'll ask the Auditor General to keep in view as we look at the ROR in the subsequent cycle. Naivasha Smart Fish Market.
Chair, I know we are rushing, but that's fine, it's okay. But just to take note, have I seen any other Treasury headquarters in any other county? Treasury headquarters.
I think it depends on how they.
No, it's okay. I just want to. I mean, we are learning, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we are learning.
You are learning very fast to be the governor.
I don't know. I don't know, but I mean, a budget of 800 million for a Treasury headquarters.
What is this? Is it the county headquarters or it's separate from the county headquarters?
It's the county headquarters started by the previous governor. Thank you very much.
County headquarters, not Treasury headquarters.
We call it Treasury Building, but it's the county headquarters where all the departments will go in, will sit.
You see now.
Because right now we have them fragmented all over.
Is it the one when we came with the ICT committee through the chair, the one we used, the new one? On the
No.
That's a different building.
That's a different one.
That's now the county headquarters.
I believe I was not there, but I believe you came to the governor's
Woodlands,
office.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But the Treasury Building is in town.
Okay.
And it's the county headquarters for all our departments.
Okay.
Mm.
I thought you have just this.
No.
Your Treasury as.
No.
What